right, guys. Welcome back to Alpha Talk, guys. Today, guys, I got several young ladies I'm about to add to the stream. Got another debate for you guys. But first, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. You guys know who it is. I'm gonna start from the bottom up. So Jackie, up. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
A little bit about who I am.
Yeah, just a little bit. Be brief.
Okay. Jackie, I live in SoCal. I'm a mom of 3 and I'm single now or newly single. And that's about it. I just live life every day, one day at a time.
Okay. Persian, Ellie Woods.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. I go by Persian L Woods on TikTok. I work in influencer marketing, and then I talk about dating and relationships on TikTok. And I just moved to Miami.
Okay, Maria.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Prieto. I'm Maria Prieto official with only one F, like in Spanish. I live in Miami. I'm from Colombia. I do digital marketing, most likely on TikTok. I do also trading, Forex, and so yeah, that's what it is.
Monica.
Hi, I'm Monica. I am a nanny, recently engaged and expecting my first baby. I'm from New York, but I currently live in LA.
Okay, Lady
Aguilera.
Go ahead.
Like Christina Aguilera. Hi, my name is Taylor. I do content creating and I work in logistics. My content on TikTok is mostly about dating, and I'm from Chicago.
Last but not least.
Yes, so I'm Sasha, but you can call me Alex. That's like the same name. I'm 19, soon turning 20. I'm currently based in Germany, but I am Greek Russian.
Okay. All right, ladies and everybody watching. The topic today is, are men insecure about body counts? I'm gonna let the ladies give their thoughts. Let's start with Monica, since you're returning. What do you think about this, Monica?
So I have to ask first, like, do you mean like men are insecure about their body counts, or
No. Are men insecure for caring about women's body counts?
Oh, I don't think it's either here or there. I think it's like a moral thing or an ethics thing. Like, if you feel like a girl with a high body count is not your steez, then you're entitled to that. And I don't personally think that there's anything wrong with that, because there is a science to it with like women and pair bonding and stuff. So yeah.
So you're indifferent.
Yeah, I mean, if that's something you care about, then that's something you care about.
Okay. The question though was, are men insecure? So what would your final ruling be? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Dope. Jackie?
Yeah, I'd have to agree too. I don't think that men necessarily care. At least anybody that I have dated or spoken to at that capacity has never asked what body count I have, or vice versa. I've never had to ask anybody that either. Could be an age.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, so guys do care about body count, right? But the question is, if guys are insecure for caring. So
if they're insecure for caring.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never encountered anybody that cares. So I guess that's a question for somebody else, because I've never encountered anybody who's asked or cared about it at all.
Are you dating somebody right now?
There's a couple in the inbox.
A couple. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Persian, Ellie Woods. Are men insecure?
You can call me Tiffany.
Okay.
I think it depends on the guy's intention and why does he care, right? Like it, and also what is his body count? I think a guy that, is waiting or isn't necessarily sleeping around and wants a woman that holds the same values, I think that's completely fine. I think what becomes dicey is when it turns into hypocrisy. So you have a man that has a body count of like a Law and Order SVU season, right? And then he expects a woman to have much lower than him. And then it's like, okay, why is that? Where are we going with that? Why?
Okay. So I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back to you on that. But Maria, go ahead, Maria.
I don't think a man is insecure caring about body count. But I also agree with Persianelli. I think it depends also like what the man wants and what is his goal. I don't think the man should request for a low body count when the man doesn't even want something serious at all. So
it depends on what he wants.
yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
And actually, also it is depending on what he wants, but like there is also another thing that I believe, and it's
you gotta speak closer to the mic. Speak closer to the mic.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, go ahead.
I believe that also men should have the experience and live the fun and all of that in order to focus in one woman. So I guess that includes a high body count for men.
So you're saying a man should have fun first?
Yes.
Before he's okay. So depending on
Before
what
he's focused, yeah.
Okay. Aguilera.
Yes, I think a man is insecure if they ask that question.
Okay. Why?
I think that it's irrelevant to anything. Like it shouldn't matter what I do with my body, nor should it matter what they're doing with their body. It's my own personal choice. And I think that it places a lot of value on things that I don't think that are particularly important.
Okay. What about Natasha? Tasha. Yeah, go ahead.
So no, I don't think that he's insecure. Like if a man cares about it, I think that's a pretty relevant thing, because the way you like behave with your body, the choices you make with your body says a lot about you as a person and how you perceive even like yourself, your point of views of life. Like I think it's a big thing, like it's a big spectrum. It tells a lot about you as a person, as an individual. And yes.
Okay, awesome. So let me go back to Tiffany. Hypocrisy. So you're saying that if a man has a high body count but wants a woman with a low body count, then he's being a hypocrite. Do you understand what men and women value in relationships? Or do you know what exactly makes a man respect you?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a multitude of things though, right? Like everyone wants different things when it comes to their partner. So I just think if I'm, doing something and then I also want my partner to not be doing it, it's a little bit of a hypocrisy to that. And you say insecurity, right? So if you are shaming a woman and you're sleeping around a lot, but you're shaming a woman for sleeping around a lot, why is that? If you're doing it, does that mean you dislike yourself and your own behavior? Because then if you dislike what she's doing and you're doing the same exact thing, then you dislike yourself. And if you hate yourself, then that's rooted in insecurity. So I think that's the issue there. A guy that doesn't sleep around and wants a woman that matches that energy, I think is completely fair. I think the biggest thing we want in a relationship is someone that matches our energy, that has the same values and morals.
Okay, so let me slow you down. So what women value from a man is usually strength, a man who can lead, a man who's confident, a man who's successful. Those are all things that you guys will agree that you want from a man, right?
Right.
Right. So for a man to become that kind of person, he has to be attractive to all women. So what a man gets out of dating a bunch of women and what a woman gets from sleeping with a bunch of men are two different things. Because at the end of the day, what a man values is your purity and your youth. And what makes him the man that you actually are going to get with is the fact that he has built himself up to be this man. So women value strength, right? A leader, a man who's better than other men. This is what your wiring is as a woman. You're designed to pick the best possible mate for you. This is why kings, sultans, emperors have always had queens with many concubines, right? For you to be a king as a man, you have to be a spectacular man. But a woman's value is not so much on the trauma she goes through, but how pure she can remain for one man. So it's not hypocrisy at all, because we're two different sexes that value two different things. What you want from a relationship from a man, what you're hardwired to want, is different from what a man wants. A man can fuck 1,000 women, right? But he can only love one. Right?
I have a question. Can I?
Hold up. I'm gonna keep explaining the hypocrisy thing, right? So a man can sleep with 1,000 women, but can only love one. All right. But the more men that a woman sleeps with, right, the more trauma you accumulate, and the harder it is for you to stay with one man. So your pair bonding is destroyed as a woman. A man isn't. Right. So this is just how nature has built us men. Now, does that mean that a man can go fuck 1,000 women and you should be okay with it if he's not providing for you? I don't agree with that. But if he becomes that guy, right, 9 times out of 10, the extremely successful men will have been well versed with women for them to even be attractive to you.
I think I have a question.
Go ahead.
So I think my question is, why would it be an insecurity? Why is it even a question? I think it's a level of maturity that is required from both parties, because you have to understand that everybody has a past. I have a past. You have a past. Everyone has a past. So it's a level of maturity.
No.
Not knowing, or not needing to know what somebody's past is.
No. Because so the reason why it's not about maturity is because men are not picked until we become something. So a lot of men are overlooked. If you ladies didn't know, 2 out of 3 men are not having sex in the United States. Hold up, slow down. So men are not picked until we become something. But a woman, your value, right? Your value as a woman, sex is not something that is an accomplishment for you, right? You can go out in public and get dick anytime you want to. But for a man to be a man that can attract and sleep with many women, he has to become something. That's why so many men are not getting laid. So go ahead.
I see the opposite. I see guys getting laid left and right.
Yeah.
Y'all are sleeping with the same guys. That's
But
the point.
this is what happened. This is what happened. So men think like this. Men is like an animal. They just like sex and they have sex and that's it. A woman, we're more emotional. If you are having sex with a man, you involve emotions. You know what I'm saying? So once you are having a high number or a high body count in your life, it means a lot of your emotion and personal stuff into it. Men, they're thinking like
get closer.
It's like an animal. You know what I'm saying? So they just have sex and they move on. For them, that's like an award. Like you say, you gotta become an actual man to be chosen. We are free to choose what he says, a man or having sex with anybody anytime we want, just because we are women. That's why it's so important as a woman to keep a low body count, because that says a lot from your personality, from your values. That's what he's trying to say.
What I'm saying is that I've seen both men and women in today's day be able to sleep with whoever they want to. I've never seen a man struggle with sleeping with a girl or not getting laid, and I've never seen a girl struggle with getting
okay. Jackie, this is the reality that most women are not understanding about what is actually going on with men. You're seeing a specific group of guys get sex whenever they want to, but the majority of men are not, right? And women are becoming more promiscuous.
I was just at a huge event. I was just at EDC for an entire week, and a lot of guys, not even guys at all, that you could say that they were high caliber, like high value men or nothing like that. Just we live in a very like situationship, like let's just hook up time, I believe. And I seen people hooking up left and right with no, like with one person one day, another person another day, both in an agreement, and that's it. Like, hey, do you want to hook up or whatever? And it was everywhere. So I can't agree that.
But it depends in your environment, because you're saying a festival. Do you know what they do in a festival? It's only people who does drugs, who like to party. It depends of your environment. You can't find the same men partying, doing drugs, or in a nice restaurant having lunch. It's different. So you cannot say that there is not women with values out there, because I consider
values. You're totally misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we live in a time where if a man wants to get laid, he can find to get laid with.
No.
And
Hold on. Slow down. The problem is you're still in an environment, a controlled environment, right? A festival is a controlled environment where people usually go with people they know. So 9 times out of 10, when women go to festivals, is usually with guys they're already hooking up with or guys they actually find attractive, right? So what women need to understand is you guys are still the holders of sex. You're still picking the dudes that you let fuck, right? Women are still picking the guys who are getting sex. So just because it seems like everybody's having sex, y'all are just fucking the same group of guys. What do you want to say, Aguilera?
I think that the issue has to do with the fact that maybe women have raised their standards, and I feel like men's standards are very high, and like women have always had to uphold this body standard, this image. And because of that now, like in the past, women didn't even have rights, not too long ago. And now we're saying that because men aren't having sex, it's our problem.
So you think you have more standards now that you're easily giving your body to many men? That's what you consider more standards?
I was easily giving my body to men. But
you're saying so listen, what you just said was women now are having more, like women are raising their standards, right? Because men have always had high standards, but you're still fucking a specific group of men. So it's not like you guys are being specific with the men. You're not being that selective. You're not getting married.
Men have never had high standards. I don't think that.
Listen. You're not getting anything for sex. Listen, at least in the past, you will get provision and protection for sex. You're giving sex for nothing. You're not increasing your standards.
I think you're making a generalization and an assumption. I think that's where we're.
No. We're not. I'm gonna give you facts. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 2 out of 3 men are not having sex. So that means most men are not having sex. But women are fucking.
It doesn't sound like a woman problem. It sounds like a lot of men probably are not emotionally intelligent.
Okay, I need you to slow down and think. That means women are fucking the same guys, but not getting marriage for it. That does not mean you're increasing your value.
It could also mean there's other options, right? Like it could also mean that maybe women aren't just having sex with just anybody. It could also mean that maybe they aren't having sex with men that aren't emotionally intelligent. Could
why are you not getting married? Why are you the least married? Why are you the least married generation out of our generations? Why are you having more kids out of wedlock if you're increasing your standards? You're getting less for what you're giving, and your women are claiming that they're getting, like you're giving yourself more, and the return on what you're giving is less. But you have been fooled to think that you've been liberated. That if I just fuck who I want to fuck, right? Even though it's still the specific group of guys, I'm not getting no provision and protection for it. We're not being empowered.
If I can jump in, I think a lot of it's about intention. I think a lot of women don't feel the need to get married because it was a financial thing, and now they're financially established and it's not necessary. I do think, though, when you're coming to marriage and relationships, it's very different. And I think some of the points that you made about men were like kings and all of this, like this is 2023, like no one's marrying a king, like
okay, guess what?
Really is relevant.
Guess what? So this is why you're wrong, because you guys are still sleeping with a select group of men. See, I keep saying this, but it's going over your heads.
That's a generalization.
It's not a generalization if 2 out of 3 men are not having sex. How's that a generalization?
That means that maybe the man should step up and be better than what they are. I think that women are having.
Stop talking. Monica, go ahead, Monica.
The problem is that women are feminists. And I always go back to that because it's fucking true. The single motherhood rate has gone all the way up ever since feminism started going up and like that whole movement got initiated. Women always control. Women are the ones who control the sex, and we can feel how we feel about it, but the stats are there. Two out of three men are not having sex, and it's not because women are raising their standards. It's because they've been sold this idea that, oh, like you, I don't need no man, I'm gonna get my shit together, I'm gonna be a boss babe, and then they expect to still be desirable by 35, 40 years old. Like, you missed your mark.
That's,
like you,
I mean, like, you just basically said that a 35-year-old woman isn't desirable. Like, are you?
it's not even. It's you're missing the point.
Like, that's insane.
Hold up, Monica. Hold up. I'm gonna explain to her what you're trying to say. What she's trying to say is a woman's value when you're young and beautiful. You're the most valuable to a man when you're young and beautiful. Women have now been brainwashed to believe that sexual liberation, fucking who you want to fuck till you're 40 and getting nothing in return is what actually is better for you. When you're still sleeping with the same percentage of men and you're getting less for it. It's not like you're fucking worser dudes. You're still picking the higher value guys. You're just not getting marriage. So you're actually losing. You're not winning. Listen to me, so I'm gonna slow it down for you. If 2 out of 3 men are not having sex, that means a small group of men are having the most sex. Women, the amount of sex that women are having has not gone down. You guys are as a matter of fact, you're having more sex. So you're having more sex and you're getting less for the sex you're having. So like that proportion does not even make sense in terms of I'm liberated, I'm independent. No, you're actually getting less for giving yourself out and getting a worse return on back end.
I do agree with some stuff that you're saying in the sense where I think if you want a relationship and you're looking for something authentic, I said this on my channel, don't sleep with a guy. I think a lot of women will sleep with a man and expect an emotional connection and expect him to treat her like a girlfriend, and then it doesn't happen and they're devastated. And I do agree with you on that sense, but I think what's happened is there's a larger group of women that are just financially independent that don't care. They don't They don't want those things, so they can do whatever they want. And it gets confusing for the women that do want those things because then we're all put into the same bucket.
So this whole women are more financially stable. Let's break this down, right? Right. women have jobs now, right? Women can provide for themselves, but it's still not enough to raise a family. So you still need another income if you want to have a family, right? You can take care of yourself. Great. But family wise, women still can't provide for 2, 3, 4 people in the household. So you're still going to need a man.
I disagree. I do it by myself. So I disagree.
That's my point. That's my point. I mean, a husband and kids, your income is still not enough to take care of multiple people. So you're still going to need an extra income.
No. Fine. I was married. I'm going through a divorce. I was married and I never actually needed his income to provide for our house, but having a dual income was nice, but then it put us in a 50-50 relationship. Part of the reason why we're going through a divorce. But aside from that, I provide for my kids and my home by myself for now until I find the right partner for me in the future. But for now,
this right partner, right? You would want him to make more money than you, right?
What was that?
And this right partner, you would want him to make more money than you, correct?
He would need to.
Oh, he would need to. Now let's slow it down. That means your income is not enough to provide for a household.
No, it's that I am not going to be in a relationship with somebody who can't give me more than I give myself.
Okay. So okay, that's a perfect statement. Now, when you say a man is insecure, right, for being upset that you have a lot of bodies, but then you still want a specific type of man. How much money do you make a year?
Enough. I would prefer not to disclose that.
Give me a range, sweetheart. I understand money. You can tell me about the money.
Just it's enough.
6 figures, 7 figures, under.
Oh, 6 figures, 6 figures.
Okay, so you're gonna want a man that makes more than 6 figures. What do you do for work?
I had a business for 10 years that I just sold out.
Okay, so you're gonna want a man that makes more than 6 figures, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, make 6 figures.
Okay, do you know what that percentage of men is in the United States?
What was that?
Do you know what that percentage of men is in the United States?
No.
It's very low. Less than 20% of all men in the United States make 6 figures. So you're going to want a higher caliber guy who can afford to provide for not only himself, but you and your family. All right.
Absolutely.
Guess what that guy is going to have?
What?
Options with the women that he gets to have a family with. And guess what he's going to pick first?
I have options too. It's
no,
a double
no. Let's slow down. Slow down. Just follow me. Follow me at where I'm going. Okay, right? I want you to follow me. Everything I'm saying, just pay attention. My goal, sweetheart, ladies, is to get y'all to understand the reality of what is really going on. Because a lot of men don't understand. You're making a certain amount of income. The kind of guy that you're gonna want, or you say you're not gonna accept, is a guy that makes some kind of income. That's a very high caliber quality of guy. That kind of guy has his options with women. And when you say you have options, a man's options and a woman's options are totally different things. You having men that want to fuck you and men that want to provide for you are not the same thing.
Obviously.
Okay. So when you look at the men that want to provide for you, that you want, how many of those guys are going to have the kind of money that you require to take care of you and your family?
I think it depends on what circles you're in, because the circles that I'm in are with people who do have that type of money. So it depends on the circles that you're in.
Okay, sweetheart, do you agree that is a very low percentage of men that are available to you based on what you want? It's not like you can go out here and find a guy who makes 6-7 figures and he's going to be ready to take care of, and you have kids, right? So now he got to take care of you. He got to take care of your kids as well.
Yes.
And he's a high earning guy. A high earning guy will not pick a woman with kids first if he wants to raise a family. He's going to pick a woman that can give him his children. So the quality of guy you want and the options that he's presenting with, this does not mean that you have options. You're not going to be picked first. And that's what options really mean.
My experience, I don't know what generalized experience you're speaking from, but not in my.
Y'all like using the word generalized.
Are my or older who have kids of their own as well. So I don't know where the generalization is coming.
No generalization. Stop saying the word generalization unless it makes sense. Generalization is me assuming something. I'm telling you what the stats are.
Your perspective from what you think.
Okay, the fact that there are less than 20% of men that make 6 figures is not me generalizing. That is a fact.
No, that is a fact. But you say that a man would choose a woman without kids or whatever the case may be because he has those options is not necessarily true.
No, that is very, very factual. This is what men pick when a man wants to raise a family and he has options and he has money, guess who he's going to pick first? A woman who's youthful and that he can have kids with, not another man's kids. That's men 101.
It's a man that already has kids is not going to select that. He's not going to want any more kids.
So you want a man that doesn't want any more kids?
Absolutely, because I don't want any more kids.
Okay, so now you want a guy who's top earning. You're not going to give him any kids, and he needs to raise your kids. Do you see how your options are going?
And I have a problem with my ocean being a pond. I'm good with that. Okay,
but the reality of this, Jackie, right, and ladies, is that you don't really have the amount of options that you think you have. This is a false perception of options. and men are not insecure for wanting a woman who's pure, because when a man makes himself something, remember, I'm not saying he gets to be a bum and gets options. I'm saying once he makes himself something, right? Once he becomes this man, he's going to have his pickings with women. Are you going to be the woman that he picks? Because you guys want 6 figures, 7 figures, all this stuff. When you meet that caliber of guy, are you going to be at the same level where he's picking you? And guess what he's picking? The youthful, beautiful, low body count, no kids woman. That's what he's picking first. Every single time. So, women, all right, let's wake up to reality, right? A bunch of men want to fuck you, and true options. This is why I was mentioning about sexual liberation, and they were telling you, Monica and Tasha, women are not being empowered now. You're actually being stripped of your power. You're, as a woman, right? What you exchange to a man for protection and provision is your youth and beauty. You sleeping with however many dudes you want, accumulating trauma, getting kids out of wedlock does not make you more desirable to the kind of man you want. It makes you less desirable. Does that make sense? Because I'm going off of what you guys want. All right, if you say you want a regular dude that makes $30,000 a year, you can get him. But you're talking about
because there were 2/3 of men that make $30,000 and are very average. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of men out there, but I think you have a problem with women having like higher standards. Like Jackie basically said that she has high standards. She wants a man that makes 6 figures.
No. Your standards need to correlate with your value.
Because the pool is smaller doesn't mean that she no longer has options. It's just that she has a select group of options because her standards are higher.
No. That's okay. How do you? So let me ask you something, Aguilera. To buy a good, right? Every good has a price, right? If you want to buy a pillow, you exchange what for goods?
Money.
Right. That means you exchange the same, equal, or more value for what you want. This is economics. This is life. The value that you have, you can only ask for that same value.
And Jackie has a lot of value. She's saying that she wants the energy to be equal. So who
determines the value? Who determines the value? Who determines the value? Who determines the value?
Yourself.
No, that's here you go with the delusion. The man determined the value. You're dating men. You're not dating yourself. You want what men
I can
want.
determine your value. So
No,
I
you
determine
can't.
your value. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, yes. That's correctly. Yes, you're very correct. I have to be a man that's handsome, in shape, make good money if I want to provide and protect for my family, correct? This is what the top 1% men are, right? You want a guy that is a leader, confident, has money, all of these things, correct?
For every woman, it's different, but if you would like to generalize, sure. And then you also said that men want a woman that's youthful, young, and wants to have kids. So there's a double standard there.
It's not a double standard. It's my value for what you bring to my life.
But that's based on your perception and whatever value you want for yourself, in the same way that it's based on mine.
Okay.
So that's perception.
No.
Your perception, you're like
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. I don't know what's going on. You're breaking up. Jackie, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Say that one more time.
That whatever you want for yourself is based on the value that you see yourself as and what you want for yourself, and vice versa. Same for me. I know what I want for myself. I know that makes my ocean a pond, and I'm okay with that. And I know what value I am. And if somebody doesn't see that, I have no place in having an argument with them about it. I'm just like, all right, peace.
So this is the unfortunate delusion that women live in. What you think of yourself, no. What you think of yourself and how the men that you're gonna want to date you see you are two different things. What you just said would be like me telling a guy who's fat, broke, poor, and lives on his mama couch, what you see as yourself, bro, your value is good enough for you. Like this is how women should want you just for you. No. Women want a man who's confident, who's a leader, who's fit, who can provide for them. Men want a woman who's pure and youthful. Does it make sense now? All right. So
if there's a guy that's unhealthy and like broke and stuff like that comes from an emotional standpoint, and that's something that he needs to work on internally to lift up his self-worth. That has to do with himself. And then if he lifts up his self-worth and he's more emotionally intelligent on who he is and how he feels about himself, then yes, I think that he's able to get exactly who he wants. But if you don't,
that's perfect. Okay, hold on. Slow down. What you just said. Now, doesn't that make it a woman who doesn't sleep with a bunch of dudes, who makes sure she's available for the right guy? Isn't that her responsibility as well?
Yeah, but you're suggesting that all women are doing that, and that's not the case.
No. I'm talking about where you stand as a woman. Right? The options you're going to have with men are going to be determined on the things that you can bring to his life. I am sorry if you have been told that who you are is enough and men should just accept you for that. It's not how men operate, especially not the kind of guys you want. So he has to see you as an asset to his life. If you're already coming with children, you're already making 6 figures. Guess what that makes you? That makes you, I'm sorry, not as desirable to most men.
That's okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. That is fair. That is fair.
The 5% that are left, or whatever small percentage is left, I'm good with that.
And I'm telling you, those guys are not gonna pick you first. That's what I mean. Like the thinner your options become, the more you're gonna require from men, the more they're gonna require from you. Same thing. I'm not saying that men get to.
So what's your solution for somebody that's in that position? So what's your solution for somebody that's already had kids, they're already in their 30s, and they still want to date somebody? What's your solution?
Drop your standards, because the men that you're trying to get are not gonna pick you first. Okay, you don't listen. There are cats, there are adoption centers. You can get you a dog. You can have a dog till you 70. You can foster bring your animals.
And saying that there are there are 2 out of 3 men that aren't having sex, but then their standards are so high that they won't date somebody that's in their 30s or has kids. So it sounds like it's a counterproductive thing.
One out of 3
women. Okay, 1 out of 3. You're telling women to lower their standards, but why not men?
No, listen, because y'all are still fucking the top guy. How many? I don't know which language y'all want me to say this in. Women are still sleeping with only a specific group of men.
Yeah,
those men,
high caliber men.
Right. Those men have options. They have options. They can pick. And when the less you can add to his life, the less he's gonna pick you.
What I hear is you saying women are picking high caliber men, right? And the men that are of 1 out of 3 or whatever the ratio is aren't living up to the high caliber. So it sounds
no. I'm saying the men who are 1 out of 3 that are getting the most sex are getting sex a lot more frequent. Without having to do anything.
And then the 2 out of 3 aren't, because they're not a high caliber man. It sounds like it's a man problem. It sounds like that man needs to step it up. Why do women need to lower their standards for men?
Responsibility, because guess what? You're not gonna pick the 2 out of 3 guys anyways. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not fucking those dudes.
If they step it up, I'll pick them. I'll pick them if they step it up, but I'm not gonna lower my standards because 2/3 of men don't want to step it up.
Okay, guess what, Aguilera? Tasha, go ahead. Go ahead, Tasha.
I want to say that your actions and your decisions have consequences. So if you decide to live a promiscuous life, to waste like your body and sleep around and do whatever you want, you can expect the top 1% of men that build themselves up, made themselves valuable, to still be attracted to you because they are in a position where they can get better. Why get less? Because you want more.
Are you going to date the low caliber man, or are you going to date the high caliber man? If you had to pick, which one are you going to pick? Are you going to pick the high caliber man, or are you going to pick the low caliber man? You specifically.
I can tell you that it's not something that
it's an easy answer. You got two options.
No,
Are you going to pick the high caliber man, or you're going to pick the low caliber man?
Obviously, listen. Let me help you out, right? If she's valuable enough, she can attract that high quality man.
that's the thing, that I will pick the best that I can get. And what I think what you are trying to say is that your imagination of what you can attract sometimes doesn't align with the reality. So for example, for me, I'm not looking like for some top, I don't know, percentage of men, because I'm trying to be realistic. So I don't know. Of course, everyone will pick their best decision, but sometimes your imagination of your best, like of the best that you could get, it doesn't align with the reality.
Sorry that you feel like that about yourself.
No. She's very correct. Tasha, no, hell no. I'm not gonna let you do that to that girl. Hell no.
Me being realistic doesn't mean I am not confident about myself. I'm just being realistic.
Actually, she's more confident. No. Let's slow this shit down. Hold up. If you are confident, if you're realistic with your options, that's the person that is even more confident and more secure. If you think that you're supposed to get what you do, just what is put out there for you, just because, that's somebody that's even more insecure. Let me ask you something, Tasha. I don't know if you want to share this, but what is your body count?
I'm waiting till.
Hey,
What was the answer?
hold up. What did you say that again?
I'm waiting till married.
She's a virgin. And guess who's going to get picked first by men who are high caliber? The one thinks exactly that. This is what I mean. And is it shocking that the way she thinks and what men want correlates, and that she will obviously get a higher quality guy? This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So she doesn't really have to do much. All she has to do is wait for the best quality guy to pick her. And she will get provision and protection without having to fuck 1,000 dudes.
Okay, so if she's 35 and a virgin, does that lower her value then, according to your...
The value, being a virgin and being 35, of course, it's not the same as being 19 and being a virgin, like in the market, I would say. But being 35 and having, like, I don't know, 50 or like a half state going through you is not the same as being 35 and being a virgin. So a virgin that is 35, better chance that a virgin that had already, like, I don't know, multiple guys.
So the thing is this: men want you.
So how would somebody know how many people you slept with unless you disclose that?
Yeah.
So she could easily say that she's a virgin, but maybe she slept with 10 guys.
Okay.
Aguilera could say that she slept with 10 guys, but maybe she only slept with 2.
Let me help you out.
They don't have a high body count. Like,
Go ahead, Monica.
It's broken and that's it. Once that's
that
it.
Kind of stuff, men can tell because women exude a certain amount of sexuality that lets you know that they're promiscuous. And as a woman, I can see it as well in other women. It shows.
And they of crazy stuff together, and that's why she's experienced. Maybe she's only had one partner. I have a friend who's been with somebody since high school, and they've only been together, and they've done some of the craziest things. If she were to separate from him and move on, but have a sexual relationship with somebody else,
but I think
experience is there going to be an automatic assumption that she's been with 10 guys because she knows X, Y, and Z. When she's only been with that one guy, it's like nobody knows exactly how many people you slept with unless you disclose.
Let me explain to
yeah,
you.
but wait. I want to say something. It makes sense, Jackie, what you're saying. It makes sense. But also, I don't think it's a point to her in this case, because you can, like, how can I explain it? Okay, you can, as a woman, you can have a bunch of guys or you cannot have anything. First, men is gonna notice right away. Either you're virgin or not, they're gonna know if you're promiscuous, I don't know, how you move in the bed, or I don't know.
No. Let me help you out, Maria. Let me help you out. This is how men can tell when you're promiscuous. Not so much on your skills, but how willingly you are to let go of relationships. how your behavior is. See, a promiscuous woman, a woman who has been with a lot of guys, she's not the girl who wants to communicate and make shit work. She's the girl that thinks, hey, if you get on my nerves today, I'm gonna find another dick. Women with more bodies, this is why this is called pair bonding. It's harder for you to stay with one man. Women who have been with less men, they are more incentivized to make relationships work. The more men you've been with, the less you're inclined to make a relationship work. Men can tell immediately by your willingness to go through drama, go through trauma with him and build with him if you have a high body count or not. Not so much on your skills, because yeah, you could have been with one guy and he taught you everything. But if you guys get into a little quick argument and you start playing these childish games, you start ghosting him, or this is behavior of women who have been with a lot of dudes.
False. I was married for 12 years. And I've been with one person aside from my marriage that I dated seriously for about a year, outside of my being married. So I was only with one man my entire marriage, and then I dated somebody for about a year, and that's the only other person that I've slept with since my marriage. And everything that you just said is false, because I'm very quick to see a behavior that is not okay for me, that I see as a red flag, and I say, you know what, this ends here, because I'm not going to pursue a relationship further with you if you have this red flag. Let's say a red flag would be like, I see that you're lazy with yourself, or the way that you do things for yourself. That's a huge red flag for me, because it tells me that if you're lazy with yourself, you're going to be lazy with me, right? So if I see that off the bat, I'm quick to be like, all right, see you later. And it's not because I'm being promiscuous. It's because it's not fitting to my final goal and what I want for myself. So
okay. Let me
not like something and say, hey, you know what? If you're doesn't align with what I want, I'm out.
Let me explain something to you. All right. That behavior is what men are running away from in terms of who we want to build a family with. So maybe you're not as promiscuous, but the characteristics you have is not what is desirable for a man long term. Maybe it's the influence. I'm not saying you settle and be with a man that treats you like shit. No. But there are things that women who are either outside influence, or they have been with a lot of men, they are less willing to make relationships work. So I don't know what your influence is, but your influence, right, has not served you the best, because every relationship is going to have problems. I'm not saying you need to stay with a guy that is doing you horrible and harming you in this shit, but every relationship you're going to get into is going to have problems. And the less men you've been with, the more inclined you are to make it work.
In terms of dating and getting to know people, you're not committed to one person, right? You can get to know whoever you would like without sleeping with them. You can get to know whoever you would like. If they exhibit a behavior that does not align with what I want for myself in my future, then I am ready to say, peace out. Don't want to deal with this. Now, of course, obviously, again, I was a wife. I was married. I know what it means to work on a relationship and a marriage. There's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors that are obviously dealt with in private. So I know exactly what that means and going through things with somebody. But I'm talking about exhibiting behaviors in the dating scene that will not align with what I want for myself. I can go, and
that is perfectly fine. But a lot of the times in dating, right, everybody has a fault. So let's say every guy, this is what a lot of women tend to make the mistake of doing. It's always the guy's fault, right? Every guy you dump, every guy you ghost, it's always something about him. There's no responsibility. Okay, what did I do to not make this relationship work? This is what I mean. In the current state of modern feminism, women are incentivized to leave relationships and bounce from dude to dude and accumulate trauma. So that influence is not good for you. I'm not saying you settle, but every little thing that goes wrong. Oh no, I got to go do this. Oh no, where's the self-reflection? What are you doing wrong in these relationships? How come every guy you with didn't go well? Was it always the guy? But what does modern feminism tell women? No, screw guys. Go do whatever you want. Go from this guy to never take any responsibility. It's not your fault.
Sometimes it's just not compatible. Like sometimes you just aren't compatible with somebody. It could have nothing to do with either person. Like maybe that person is super introverted and you're extroverted. It could have nothing to do with anything. It could be baseline, just we're not compatible.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't agree with that mentality either, like the one that you just said, because to me, I love men. I feel like there's so many good men out there, and there's so many men who will do right by women. So I can't say that I agree that although I do see on social media a lot of girls just blame shifting the man and no accountability, but I see it vice versa too, you know? I see it both on both ends.
Okay. Character development, right? Character development means you're improving your character. And that tends to happen even better when you're with one person. So a lot of times I think women have been led to believe that you're going to meet this guy. Everything is just going to sparks are going to fly and everything is that is not realistic. Most people you're going to meet, you're going to have to grow together. But what I'm saying is most women are told to do the opposite. Why? You can always get another guy. You can always just jump to the next dude. You can always, that's what I mean. Right? You're incentivized to quit.
Men are
saying,
what's incentivizing it?
What do you mean?
Because you said you just said you're incentivized to quit. What's incentivizing?
The fact that you think you're sexually liberated. This power, empowerment. You're empowered, sweetheart. You don't have to tolerate no shit. Instead of what am I gonna do to improve myself so I can have better relationships? Instead of jump from dick to dick.
So
I don't know.
That's what feminism did to women. It takes out women nowadays. They think they're not self-accountable anymore. They want to help men accountable for everything. They bash them for their like what they like in a woman, but they themselves, they're not like down to earth. They have those imaginations of themselves, like I'm a queen even though I'm like 30, I don't know, divorced with a baby, like I'm mentally completely like over, but you know, I'm a woman, so like I'm cool and everything. And that's what feminism does.
Let's not even discuss marriage. Oh God. The incentive to leave a man and take half of his shit and for whatever reason. Let's not even discuss that incentive. I'm talking about just dating. You're still urged. It's all over media. Boss babe, do this. You're encouraged to go work, slave your youth away for corporate America. All right. In exchange of what? Liberation. Do you guys know how women's lib started? Women's liberation. You know what the agenda behind women's liberation was? Jackie or Aguilera or Tiffany? Do you guys know the root of women's lib?
No, please tell me. I want to be educated.
So women's lib was started to get women out of the home to tax you more. A household is taxed the least in America. Right. The moment you become single, now there's an extra income of tax, and to indoctrinate the children. So if your kids are being led by the schools and taught by the schools, they're more likely to be influenced by the government than you.
Yep.
That was the whole purpose of women's liberation, not to empower you. Go ahead.
Like we can see that even in history, like in the Second World War, the kids were taken out of the families in order to put a narrative in them and to be like a slaves in a way to the state and to promote their way of thinking. And how could that be possible? By taking the kids out of the families, by yes, and that's exactly what is being done right now, and what initially like feminism is doing. Women are being taught that they're not appreciated, that the feminism puts down everything that is traditional for a woman. They put them down. They tell them that they have to compete with men, that they have to be independent, and all of this. And what we have right now, like women are like 60 with cats, I don't know, like unlucky and everything. But why is that? Because they don't have those traditional values. Like a woman can only be truly happy when she holds on those traditional values. Yes.
So this is the problem, right? Women's liberation has been masked, right, to finesse women. And unfortunately, ladies, most women are very impressionable, right? What sounds good is what women tend to draw to. Empowered. This is not me. I'm saying go and deal with men who harm you and don't provide for. That's not what I'm saying. But for the most part, what liberation has brought to women's lives is more trauma, more work, less families, which does not make you more powerful as a woman. So this is what I mean by women are incentivized to leave relationships. You're not incentivized that when you get with a guy to make it work. No, boss babe, go out and find another guy. Screw him. Keep taking on all this dick trauma. And when you're 60, we're not gonna come and save you or give you a family. But hey, you were a boss babe. A woman's legacy is what? Working for a corporate job, or raising her kids, having grandkids, being remembered for the mother she was, the grandmother she was. And women are no longer that. And what I'm saying is you're not getting protected as you were. We're not least protected.
What about the women that don't want to have children?
I think that is the influence. And it's part of the influence that has been part of your life. Go ahead.
Where is the influence coming from?
Feminism telling you that you can be a boss babe has made you less likely to want to get married. That's the influence. Boss babe.
Government and marketing, because nowadays you go to the mall and you see this Calvin Klein, two guys kissing each other, two girls hugging and touching each other. And so now they're trying to make that normal for the kids that we are raising, the little kids that we have.
So we're talking about the LGBTQ community? Is that
everything?
Influence. I'm saying the influence in general.
Right.
So that's what they're trying to do now. As you can see now in Toy Story, now Buzz Lightyear, I respect it. I don't share the fact that they make it seem that it's normal for our kids, because the kid doesn't have is not mature enough to understand what they want yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's the point. Hold on. What she just said is the exact point of how feminism started. Get kids to be more controlled and influenced at an early age by the government, not the parents. Because when you disrupt a family unit and you got mom and dad separated, right? And you got kids being raised at school where they're teaching them whatever nonsense they want to be taught. Mom isn't there, dad isn't there. Who can truly influence the children? Is it the family? Is it the mom? Is it the dad? Or is it the government?
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Is the blame on the government then? Is that what we're saying? Is that we're in agreement?
Partially so. But what I'm saying is because women are so impressionable, right? What sounded good, screw these men, let me go work, had an ulterior motive to it. It was not to make you more powerful.
But the start of it was due to the government, is what you're saying.
And I'm saying women need to stop this shit and take responsibility and get your homes back.
It didn't start from women, then, is what you're saying. It started from the government.
But it did not. There are books that are from that time. There are women that had even at that time, like I think there's a book, I don't exactly remember the name, but it was on 1926 or something. And a woman was writing about feminism and how irrational that even that time it sounded to them. And keep in mind the feminism, that like the first feminists at that time have nothing to do with the feminists right now. Like even their point of views or even what they were taught that this movement is about is completely different. It changed completely. And from
like we're in 2023 now.
They always had, like even before feminism, a woman always had like those 3 ways that they could choose for their lives. Like be a housewife, become like a nun or something, or like before the streets, right? And now with feminism, they changed nothing. Right now we have just women that may not like give their
we have more than 3 options now.
For example,
we don't have just 3 options. You listed 3
and
options.
That's the point. And listen,
job for them.
I like you said, what was it, housewife?
Slow down. That's the point. the false perception of options to make you work for the rest of your life and not give you the power of being a mother where you have more control over your family unit.
Can I ask something now?
Go ahead.
So you stated earlier that most men are not making six figures, right? We talked about that.
Overwhelming majority.
I live in California. Okay. So it's not cheap to live here. And most people can't afford to live without it being a two-person household, right? With both people working. How do you suggest that dynamic work if here in California, most people cannot afford to have a home and have something great without both people working? How do you suggest that be resolved if there's such a small percentage of men that are not that caliber?
You missed my point. That's why I want to have a family unit. When you have a family unit, it's a lot easier for you to take care of not just yourself and the kids, but the man and the woman. When you're separated, your incomes alone cannot provide for the family. So a woman, a family unit is way more powerful, especially now more than ever, because it's going to be very, very difficult for a man who's an average man to be able to take care of a family without his wife being there.
Right, but he can't live with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year here in SoCal where I live. You can't do it. So how do you suggest that we go in reverse to that family dynamic and to that tradition if most men are not at that caliber to provide that life?
Because
that's what I'm asking.
So when you make a family unit, right? Especially with the current economy, you're going to have to work. At least give your husband time to be able to create something else that can provide. No, women don't want to do that. You want the top guy. Hold up. You don't want that.
You're talking about stages. You're talking about early 20s building stages. You're talking about the initiation of relationships in your early 20s.
And that's even better. Perfect.
I'm here at my age. I'm not.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, if you're in your early 20s, find you a man that you love and build with him.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, you guys build together. I'm not building shit with nobody's son at this age.
Okay, well that's my point. If you don't want to build, you have to fight for whatever's left. That's the point.
I think I agree with a lot of the stuff that you're saying, but I think there's an issue when you look, there's a lot of nuance to this, but also statistically, men are going to college less, they're graduating less, women are surpassing them in the workforce. And it's really easy to blame that on feminism and all these things, but also I think, going back to accountability, men might need to step it up a little bit more. Like, what's going on here? Why are they falling behind so much? Okay. And you said 2/3 of men are not getting laid. Let's look at that. Like, why is that the case? Like, what are they doing that women don't want to sleep with them or be with them? And what can they do to improve?
Men is becoming more like tempted to do everything easier. First, they want a woman who helps them to pay half of the rent. Second, they want, instead of trying to seduce you, they rather to watch porn. They easily, what do you want? Please your brain. It's easier to watch porn, do your business, instead of trying to invite you a dinner, trying to do X and Y. Why? Because women, they already pay for their rent. Are you gonna give me something better? No, I cannot afford it. That's it.
So there's quite a few issues with what's going on with men, right? First is the porn thing. Instant gratification is destroying men's testosterone, but there's no incentive to marry. This is the best. Let's not skip this. Men have less incentive to marry. If I get with a woman, half of my shit can be gone and I can barely take care of her as is. So more men are deciding that, hey, maybe it's not a good idea for me to marry. Now, I will say, men like me, if you guys watch my content, I am one of the biggest advocates for male self-improvement. Get your life together, get in good shape, make money. The unfortunate thing is I am more awakening the killers. I'm awakening more winners, right? The problem is these guys are gonna make good money and they're gonna have the same kind of standards as me. So more men need to be encouraged to do better, but everybody has a fault, right? Men can't sit there and blame everything on women, but women can't just sit there and say, oh, why aren't you men doing anything? If the family unit is going to ever come back, men and women need to take responsibility to make that happen. But if women think, oh, I can just fuck who I want to fuck, or we're going to just share the top 1% guy, then you have to be okay with what comes with that kind of guy. Because the regular guy cannot afford, in today's world with inflation, with the rising prices of everything, he cannot afford to take care of himself, you, and the family. You guys have to be together.
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So you teach men like to increase their values and all of that, be successful, X and Y, and get the ideal woman with all of these values, high quality woman, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I disagree with something because I really like your content. I've been following you for a while, and I love this type of conversations, and I agree with most of the stuff that you say. But I saw something that I didn't share, which is like you post on your stories these girls twerking, and you type, hey, this is why you should become like a successful man, this X and Y. So I think you're selling your own product, business, or whatever the idea you wanted to sell with the wrong ideal.
No.
That's why. And that's
I'm explaining you what.
Listen,
I'm explaining to you. Okay.
Wait. Let me finish. Just one thing.
Go ahead.
The hardest part of being a woman right now, nowadays, and being in Miami is keep your values with all of those girls twerking, giving everything for free just for a party. That's the problem. And the content that you're posting, trying to educate them, they're craving for that. Men crave for sex. Men crave for that type of things. And if you incentivize them for that, how people is expecting me to have a low body count if you're with a man and then you think you have something serious with him, and because you don't want to give him sex right away, they think you're not sure of what you want. Or
okay.
maybe she's not sure of what she wants. So you have another girl that you're fucking. Well, maybe she wants to have sex with me and have a relationship with me. You know, it's hard. It's hard because out there in the market, men is promoting, and most likely the successful guys. Because I know a lot of millionaires, young entrepreneurs, that they're like just promoting twerking parties, boobies, everything out there. That's what they crave. But like at the end, they ask for a high value woman, and then how are we educating them? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me explain to you. Do you understand that sex sells? What men want from women is beauty. If you want men to be encouraged to work harder to get any quality of woman they want, guess what you have to show them? The quality of woman they want. I'm not saying go fuck 1,000 girls. That girl that you're seeing has been my main girl for 2 years. So I'm not saying go and fuck. I'm not posting several girls in my stories. It's the same girl. So, but what does a man want? He wants a beautiful girl, even if it's one girl. Men are not going to be, they're not going to be encouraged to work hard for women if we don't find them beautiful. So I'm not saying you go out there and twerk. You still retain your values. All right. But a man is still going to want a beautiful woman. He's going to want a woman that looks good, that's in shape, that is sexy. This is what drives men.
So then why do men cheat?
Okay, that's a perfect question. Let's discuss it. All right.
Please.
Who wants to go first? Or y'all want me to go first? Y'all want me to go first? Okay. So this is what women is very few women have agreed with me on this. All right. But the ones who do, I thank you. Men and women, cheating is different, right? Cheating is different for men and women. And I'm gonna explain. So I want you guys to listen. Aguilera, please pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm gonna say it as slow as possible.
I'm listening. I just mute myself so I don't
okay. A man cheating and a woman cheating are two different things. A man cheats on a woman when he shares his resources and his provision. Men will fuck anything. Maria, you said this in the beginning. A man just fucking is like this is who we're hardwired to be. We want to spread our seed. Women make the mistake of, this is why body count matters. I'm gonna go back to this. Women make the mistake of judging sex the way they see sex as the same way men should see sex. This is why body count matters. Because women know deep down that your purity, the fact that you know as a woman that when you give yourself to a guy, there's something there, or at least you would hope that there's something there. Sex is a lot more emotional for women. That's why it's more sacred for you guys. It's not the same for us. Men will fuck a hole in the wall. If any of you guys went outside tonight and said who wants to fuck, you will get 1,000 dudes that want to fuck. But if you said who wants to marry me and take care of me for the rest of my life, guess how many dudes are gonna be waiting outside your door? Not that many. Why? Because men value our provision, our resources. That's what we hold to our heart. So a man is not cheating by fucking another girl. I will say this. You give certain privileges to certain guys. I don't believe you should give a guy that is a regular Joe that can't do anything for you the privilege to fuck other girls. No, that's crazy. I would agree. If you could barely do anything for me, I'm just with you because I can't, that's crazy. If you're with a top guy, a guy that can provide for you, right? And
you said we're not supposed to be picking the top guys though, because there's the 2 out of 3 are low
caliber. It's up to you. I'm saying this is up to you.
You said we're not supposed to be picking those. So if we're not picking them,
I'm saying that women are not going to pick them ever. That's why
okay, so like hypothetically, let's say we're picking them. So because you're saying because now you're saying we got to pick a high caliber
you want
guy.
to build, listen, you got to listen to me. If you want to build with a man, get you a guy that you can love and build with. If you don't want to do that and you want to settle for the ballers, you want to settle for the guys who already got it made, you have to be okay with the fact that he's going to fuck other girls. That does not mean he doesn't love you. Does not mean he doesn't love you.
But I thought he values purity.
Him fucking other girls and you fucking other guys are two different things.
So he doesn't value purity because purity means pure. So
no, men value purity from women. We value our resources. We trade our resources for your purity.
That's what we call a double standard. If you
No,
value
that, no, there's no double standard. No. You're not listening. Your purity is what's valuable to a man. His resources is what's valuable to you. He exchanges resources and provision for your purity.
You said we have to lower our standards. So if we're lowering our standards, then his resources really aren't that valuable. So are we picking a high caliber man where he can provide, or are we lowering our standards?
What do you want to do? Because it sounds like most women want to pick the high quality guy. You're hardwired to do so. If you want to pick an average guy, it's up to you. I can't decide for women. I can only give you the options that are presented to you. If you get with a regular guy and he can't do shit for you, he shouldn't be able to fuck other girls. No.
So can I ask, I'm just asking, if you're saying that a guy is making a certain amount of money, then he's allowed to cheat?
Good question.
No, let's stop saying cheating.
Or just, okay, but if you're, okay, then be with other women other than you, if you're in a companionship.
If he's going to provide. Yes.
So that's my question. If he is making a certain amount, then he is allowed to step out and be with other women aside from you. That's your point?
Yes, this is why. Because what I'm saying is this. Hold up. What I'm saying is this. For a man to become the guy in today's world that can provide for yourself, himself, and kids, he is a hell of a dude. 90% of men are not going to be able to do it.
But what about the hell of a woman?
What about the what?
You say hell of a dude. Like, wow, the dude. What about the good quality woman?
And that this goes back to what men value and what women value. I value your purity, that the fact that you're not giving yourself to many men.
Okay.
As a woman, you need to value not only the fact that a man is confident and can do all these things, but he can provide for you and your family.
But I don't agree just because of the fact that you provide, you're able, or we have to accept that you can cheat. Because part of the values of a woman, of a high value woman, is to know their standards. Identify the standards and respect those standards. One of my standards is not accepting cheating from a man. I understand the point that it's not the same a man having a lot of sex with women and a woman having a lot of sex with men. I understand the part and I share, but I don't accept and I don't share the fact that the man, just because he's a provider, he can go and fuck everybody and then come back to my house, to my bed, and also fuck me. No.
But he's providing for you.
I think that
What am I doing? I'm also providing. You,
For
as a
who?
woman, you
How?
as a woman, you bring to the table a lot of things. Listen,
Can we define
First of all,
providing? Like, can you define the
loyalty,
term providing for men?
financial is what he's saying.
Financial.
So only financial. So what we're looking for in a man is strictly financial. Like
No,
that's-
obviously, you're gonna pick a guy who's confident. You have emotional connection with. I understand all that. What I'm telling you is, men, if men can pick, and guess what? The more high value he becomes, the more he builds himself up. He's going to be able to pick. Men would love one woman and be able to sleep with other women. This is what men want.
Can I
the,
just
the things that we should be looking for in a man to provide for us, if you could like sum it up to 3 solid words, what are the things that women should be looking for in a man?
Leader, provider, protector. Leader, provider, protector. Obviously, you got to be attracted to him. So he has to look good. He has to have everything. I tell guys to have everything. Be in great shape, dress well, be handsome, everything.
What would you say is the most important thing to have like a man?
Everything, because women like different shit. Some women might like a guy who's more fit. Some women like a guy who's more charismatic. I tell guys to be everything. So you can pick. The more he works on himself, right? He can choose what he wants.
So because you're a dating coach, right? So what do you stress is the most important thing for a man to have?
I just explained to you that men should have everything. Work on
if
everything.
you had to pick some, because we talk a lot about financial aspects and a man being a leader.
because he's talking about high value men, and that's like a big aspect.
Everything.
I think
everything, but he's trying to talk about like a high, but he's trying to.
Well, would
to
you
see
date a
it
man
according
that
to-
has a lot of money? He's very good looking, but he's severely emotionally unstable.
No, everything is the balance. That's what he's saying.
I think the issue here is when you like want to promote family values and a family unit, and then you say a man who makes a certain amount of wealth can go out and cheat or like be with other women.
Yeah, as long as he provides for the one woman he loves. Yeah.
I think the issue with that is the biggest thing when it comes to family is loyalty, right? Like you are loyal to your family. You are a unit. You are there for each other. And
Right.
what that does, can I just finish? What that does is you are building generational trauma. When you create dysfunction like that, when you have a man that is stepping out, that is not loyal to his children, to the mother of his children, you are traumatizing everybody in that unit.
Wrong.
Well, that's generational trauma. You're
I'm
just
explaining to you.
Cheating,
A man's loyalty.
cheating the way you're saying, that's what is making the new woman that is very I work for myself, I do myself, I all that stuff, because woman is not available to support that anymore. Like the women are tired of that.
So listen to me. A man's loyalty is not the same as your loyalty. I am not saying that a man should share resources. You guys, once again, this is why body count matters. Every time I bring this point up, I always turn it back to why body count matters. Women have such a hard time understanding why sex is so important to them, but then come on here and talk about body count doesn't matter. This is what I mean. Your sex is so important to you. It's so pure to you. That's what a man values about you. That's not what a man is looked at in the world to provide for the world. He needs to be stable.
So if the sex is so important,
Let me finish. He needs to be stable. He needs to be all of these things to be able to get any woman. So when he decides, I want to raise a family with you, I'm going to give you everything I've worked my butt off for. Him fucking a chick that he doesn't care about, that he doesn't care to see again. The reason why it's so important to you is because your body count matters. So what I say is this. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. The only way you can even be close to requiring a man doesn't fuck other girls if you want that caliber of guy is if you're a virgin. No other way. If you don't bring him you without any past, there's no way you can ask for it from that kind of guy. If you get a regular guy, no, and he can't pay for bills, you guys got to fucking struggle. Okay, no, he don't get the fuck out of bitches too. That's not what I'm saying. If a guy can take total control of provision, he's going to want to sleep with other women because he has. Listen, you guys understand that to make that kind of money, there's a lot of things that are so good with this man for him to get to this point. Men who are very successful have things that are so attractive to all women. So once he becomes this guy that can do it all, he's wanted by all women.
Which is 1/3, right?
Right. A small group of men.
Super small percentage of men are very successful and like are doing.
That's what I'm. And what are we talking? Because I'm saying if you get a regular guy, he doesn't get the fuck out of bitches. If you pick the 1%,
no, I'm just confirming that we're still talking about the 1/3.
Yes.
Okay. Just
So you're gonna step out on the verge.
Hold on. Tasha,
Wait,
go ahead.
I have a question.
Tasha, stop talking. Tasha, go ahead, Tasha.
Thank you. You said that a man should have everything, right?
Mhm.
But isn't self-control also a very important thing? And why not? Because I mean,
It's no longer self-control, because this is the shaming tactic that women love to use on men. Oh, why can't you control yourself? Oh, why can't you just hold on. It's the self-control deal. Why can't you control your urges? Okay, then are women stupid for wanting men who are taller, stronger, bigger, can provide? What a man wants to do is spread his seed. It's not about no self-control. It's who he is as a man.
Are you spreading your seed? Are you doing the natural thing? Like, are you spreading your seed? Because
I'm not populating the planet at the moment, but if I want to, I could.
But that's okay. So, are you married, by the way? I just wanted to
No.
know. I'm not married. I just wanted to ask.
I'm not married.
You never really answered my whole thing about generational trauma, though. I'm just curious as to what you think about that. When
Okay,
it comes to
I respect that. I just
want to know, because I think that's what creates a lot of people having to go to therapy and being traumatized.
Right.
It's seeing this, this dysfunction between their parents, and that. I get some of the things that you're saying, and I get that men have a lot of options. But then when you settle down with one woman, your virgin bride, should you not at least at the very least be
so this is
loyal?
what I mean. Okay.
Can I chime in?
I understand what you're saying, and I agree. I don't think that a man should lie about this, or to do it behind your back, or to you put it in your face, or to be disrespectful. If a man is going to exercise his options, he needs to sit down with you first, and you need to be okay with it. It can't be in your face. It can't be, oh, look at me, I found a condom. No. If you're going to have one woman that you take care of, she should never see it. I advocate for that. Right? And there should be boundaries. If you're going to accept it. If you don't want to accept it, don't accept it. I'm saying a lot of women who deal with extremely successful men, this is what they are going through. This is what they accept.
So are you saying it's like natural instinct for men to cheat?
Yes. It's not to cheat. Cheating is me sharing my provision and protection.
So why don't you also share your seed? Like, why don't you help the world and share your seed as well? Like, why isn't that? Because that's also part of what you're saying. Is that not the same thing?
Men can have sex with many women. That's what I mean. Sleeping with many women, but only providing for one.
Okay, so when he's cheating, why doesn't he get them pregnant too? Because then it's
because he wants to fuck. He just wants to fuck. That's what I'm saying. He just wants to have sex. It's in his nature to have sex.
But that's a very animalistic way to view life. Like me, for example, people are not same with animals. So what differs us from animals is that we are able to choose what we do with our body. Like we are able to have self-control, be self-aware and everything. So saying that a good man should have everything, but not self-control, because
that's completely
because he has this urge. I can have more view intercourse other than women. They have other urges in a way, right? But saying no to something, being loyal to something, is part of a relationship. And saying that a man sleeping around is not cheating, it's not right,
because it's not fair. Okay, it's not fair.
But
it's not fair. It's not fair for then women to turn around and say, I want a guy who's taller than me, stronger than me, can protect from me. Those are all animalistic things too. Why don't you pick a shorter guy who's fat, who's poor, if it's not animalistic? Because you're hardwired to pick the best mate for you. And I'm telling you, part of his hardwiring is to fuck other women.
And impregnate them. So impregnate all of them. Impregnate all of them.
Not as
That's the
responsible.
animalistic thing to do. You're trying to,
Whatever.
you have to repopulate.
If you give him
Every
that
animal
option,
wants to repopulate. So
listen,
repopulate your tribe.
that's how you got here. We all got here because a man did that said thing.
So when you're cheating, also impregnate them because
Okay.
your point is to provide. Like,
y'all heard it from Aguilera. You have now the option to not only fuck other girls, but you can impregnate them too.
I think one
and then
point
provide for them as well. Your role as a man is to provide, according to you. So I want you to impregnate.
He can have 3 wives. Why
and
can't
then
he have 3?
I want you to provide for all of them.
If listen, since that's what you want to go with, great. I'm gonna have 10 wives. And you're gonna get less of me because I'm gonna take care of all their kids.
You don't even have one wife, so
I get to pick. You don't. That's my point. I choose when I want to have a family.
But you don't have a wife right now.
I pick, Aguilera. You don't.
Yeah, but you don't have a wife. That's what we're saying, right? You don't have a wife
because I get to pick when I want to have a wife. You don't. How, in what language you want me to say I don't have a wife? I don't have a wife because I get to pick when I want to have a wife. You don't.
I think one point that you could be making in this that you're potentially not to is with married men specifically that are successful that sleep around. It does take 2. And there are these women that are sleeping with married men and doing all of these things. And I think what we talked about, accountability and women holding a little bit more accountability to not be with these men. Don't give it up so quickly and don't.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with
that. It's disgusting. You disagree with women sleeping with married men?
No, not that part. I'm saying, okay. So what women do is when something doesn't go you guys' way, you go to 2 extremes. One of those extremes is I'm not going to have sex again. No. What I mean by that, Tiffany, is this. I think women should be more selective of who they have sex with. And if you have sex with a guy, pursue something.
Yes, I agree with you completely. I think women sleep with men way too quick. I don't want to generalize, but I've seen this. They sleep with a man and then they expect certain things. And I think it is smarter. I'm not saying never have sex, but to wait, especially if you are looking for, or specifically if you're looking for relationship.
I don't think that's fair because here's why, right? A man is going to decide whether he wants to be with you or not. And I think that strategy, making him wait, does not make him more invested.
I'm not saying wait. I'm saying what the relationship is. I'm not saying like use it as like a manipulation tool. I'm just saying don't give your body up to someone that you just met. Like just wait, see where the relationship is going. See if you like him. See if there's chemistry. See if your values align. And then I'm not even saying put a timeline on it. Just see what his intentions are. Right?
I agree with you. I just don't think. Here's where we have maybe a disagreement. I just don't think that women get to fuck a bunch of dudes and then all of a sudden decide to do that. That's when I think it stops being fair for me. If you go and have given yourself to many dudes, it's no longer fair for a man that you want a relationship with that he has to wait for sex. Because then it's looking like in a man's eyes, he's getting less for what other guys have gotten.
Not because he's sleeping with multiple women. That's what you said. Like they're sleeping with.
He is talking about a relationship. If you want a relationship with a man, and
but you said men can cheat no matter what.
Can you listen to where the conversation flow is going before you interrupt? Because you're missing that part. She specifically asked about a relationship, and I'm saying if you are a guy, if you're thinking about a relationship, I don't think it's fair that if you've given yourself to many guys, that you all of a sudden make the guy that you want to have a relationship with wait for sex, because then it's not fair to him.
Okay, being in a relationship and dating somebody to see if they're relationship worthy are 2 different things. And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, you were talking about dating and like before the relationship process, or were you specifically talking
No, she asked me a question about what I thought about women having sex with anybody. And I said, I agree that women shouldn't just fuck anybody. It should be more selective. But when it gets to the point where you've done it in the past, and now this guy that you want something serious with, if you're deciding to make him wait, I don't think it's fair. No, that's where the conversation was going. I don't know what you missed, but that was not what you just said was not what we were discussing.
I was talking about dating with the intention to be in a relationship,
right?
Right.
So you want to date. You want to date this guy.
Right. Yeah. You want to be with him, potentially you're going to be the father of your children. I understand what you're saying, that it's not fair. I can see a guy thinking that, but also like life isn't fair. Like, I don't know.
But
You know?
okay. Yeah, life isn't fair, but men get to choose. If a man has a choice, I don't want to pick a woman who is giving it up several one night stands. And now you want something serious with me, you want to make me wait. Fuck no.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
I get that. But I also think what gets dicey with like with the women that I've talked to, like not even necessarily my friends, but women are very good at lying about their body count. And I just think
Of
it's really
course.
interesting that we're talking about this. And it's like, I know you can look at a woman and think, I personally have been so wrong sometimes, or I've met women you think it's really high and it's not, or you think it's really, I think sometimes the women that almost make themselves appear to be like really angelic are the ones that, you know, are not at all. I'm not that like being, not that it really matters, but I'm just saying like, I think sometimes perception can be really twisted. So I don't know if you should trust it.
No. The thing is, at a man's core, he doesn't want to share his woman. And a problem with women having multiple partners, and a man is taking a risk. And why men have been hardwired to want this so much is because in the past, you can even guarantee paternity if he was to be with this woman, if she's had multiple partners. That wiring is in men. The more men you've been with, the less it guarantees that the children I'm going to have with you in whatever moment are going to be mine. That's where this whole thing has come. That's where this whole thing stems from. So men in our nature, we're hardwired, right, to not want women who are promiscuous. Not only does it come with a lot of baggage, but it doesn't make paternity certain. So is a man going to get your body count correct? Probably not. But his hardwiring is to want a woman who has not been with that many guys. I think you guys are confused a little bit by what my purpose is, right? I think some girls come on here.
Your purpose. Define your purpose. What is your purpose?
My purpose is to give understanding because I think to everybody.
No.
No, you can't say no because I've had plenty of girls come on here and completely agree
and
with
that's okay. But we all
no. You don't get to tell me what my purpose is. My purpose is to give understanding. If you have understanding, men and women, you can have a better dating life, Jackie. If you understand, you guys think I'm just being hard on y'all. That's the problem. This is where the not understanding comes in. I am even tougher to men.
I don't think it's hard on me or us at all. I think that you have your perspective and you're sticking to your guns, and I think we have our
so that negates your first point. You said my purpose is not to give understanding. If my purpose is to be hard on both sex.
With this conversation, what is the purpose? What are you trying to accomplish with this conversation? That's what I'm.
Speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. I can say it in another language to give purpose, to give understanding. Okay. I want to give understanding to women. So you're giving
me an understanding that men are providers, and if they're the top caliber men, that they should be able to sleep with other women. But I think you're missing the part where men are supposed to protect. They're supposed to protect their home. They're supposed to
do that.
They're supposed to protect the family dynamic. They're supposed to make sure that their daughters are raised in the most appropriate way so that they also have a successful marriage, and their sons, and whatever the case may be. They're supposed to protect the home. That doesn't mean that you step outside of the home.
No. Wrong. He can do all of that and still protect his home. He can fuck another girl and still protect. Yes, he can. No, you just don't want to believe that he can.
No, I don't agree with that. Like listen to me. What I said in the beginning, it doesn't make you insecure if you care about the high body count. But you can, before you get into a relationship, you can do as a man that, because that doesn't really add you or take less from you. But once you step into a relationship, let's see, with the ideal woman, right? She's virgin, she's a God, relationship with God, she's like the perfect woman, right? Let's paint it like that. Are you trying to say that she has to accept that you're cheating on her?
She doesn't have to accept anything. That was my whole point. You cannot accept anything.
But you just said that the man can cheat. Like you said he can go just because he provides, he can go.
Maria. What happens in most relationships? Women catch their guy fucking other women, and this is when the whole world crumbles, right? It doesn't happen. Cheating doesn't happen, Tiffany.
I don't think that happens too.
I don't think that happens in most. I think that's like a really big blanket statement you're making that all guys cheat. I don't think so.
I'm not saying all guys cheat, but okay, so men have not been in the news for fucking other girls. Wow, I'm wrong.
Most relationships end is because a guy cheated. I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Just rewind though. What is your purpose in this conversation for us to understand what you're trying to get understand your point of perception?
It's for you to understand men.
Which men? The men that function like you?
The men that you are going to want to pick. I'm giving you a broad, very clear amount of options. What do you want, Jackie?
I think you're giving.
I have not limited you to anything. I just told you what your options are.
But
no. Listen. Okay. When I tell you, based on what you want, this is what's available for you. What am I telling you by telling you that? I'm giving you your options. Women, I'm sorry, you guys are delusional. You don't understand what is really out here. You don't understand what dating is because you guys live in a bubble, right? You're dating a specific group of men. You think that it should be this way. You think that it should go this way. And I'm trying to give you insight. You don't have to do anything I'm telling you to do. You don't have to pick a guy who fucks another girl. You can pick an average girl. Well, if he comes to you, sweetheart, if you attract the guy, I'm telling you what's going to happen. If you're able to attract this top 1%, how old are you?
26.
Okay, at 26, if you can attract the guy right now that makes the amount of money you want, right? And it's everything you want, I guarantee you he's going to have other women he can pick from.
So you don't is it men or women that pick is my question. That's right.
You attract the man that you can exchange the equal amount of value for.
So you're not really answering my question.
You attract the man that you have the equal amount of value for. If men of high caliber see you as high caliber, you can attract them. If not, you're not high caliber. You're gonna get what you get. Basically, that's what I mean.
Basically, who you've attracted thus far is what you deserve.
Basically. And if you guys want to complain that it's all men's fault, you're not looking in the mirror and saying, hey, there's some things I can fix. I think you guys think I'm just trying to get women to understand.
Men's fault at all.
No, it's everybody's fault. Stop moving the faults.
But I don't think
responsibilities for everybody, Jackie. It's for everybody. Everybody has to take responsibility. If a man wants to date women, he needs to improve himself.
No shit.
If a woman wants to attract a caliber of guy, she needs to be what he wants, not what she thinks that she deserves, what she feels internally. No, you have to be what he wants. Same thing as a man. He has to be what you want. How is that confusing?
So you're saying in summary, you're saying we have to appeal to the male gaze.
To the one that you want.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying, basically.
Yeah.
You can choose to not be delusional.
Caliber, so I don't know what further information or what further advice or understanding you're trying to give, because I attract men that are at my caliber or higher.
But they're not willing to provide for you.
How do you know that?
They're married.
You don't know anything about me.
Okay, here we go about the delusion, right? Because men are talking to you, and the men that I'm talking about, your value as a woman is the kind of man you get to that says, I am going to provide and protect for you.
Yes.
Just because are those the men that you want then?
The men that are willing to provide and protect me, yes.
Are those the same men that you want?
The ones that have been attracted to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Have they provided and protected for you then?
They've provided and protected without us even being in exclusive relationships, without even sleeping together.
Okay, so they have taken over all finances for you, Jackie.
Men you're talking about, but there are men who are willing to do things for you and provide for you because
Jackie,
that's just who they are in their nature.
Jackie.
There's men who do that without requiring sex return.
I don't know which men you dealing with,
and I don't know what men you're talking about. That's why this conversation is so it's so one-sided because
No, it's very,
you're teaching men and it's false.
Listen, it's very, very basic and it's almost remedial. It's logic, but you don't want to open your mind and listen to logic. No man is going to stop talking. No man is going to want to take care of a single mom with kids and dedicate his whole life for her.
And
that this is not what a man is going to pick first. I don't know where you get this false perception for.
Wrong. You're so absolutely wrong. You're speaking for all men, and that's false. You're speaking.
Okay, so why don't you have one? Why don't you have a man right now that's paying all your bills?
Why don't you have a wife?
Nobody said that.
Are you slow? Are you really slow? Are you really slow?
I thought the rules were not to be insulting.
No, but you keep asking remedial questions. Like when I have said several times, I pick, you don't. In what language do you want me to say it? I pick,
That's
you
also
don't.
very insulting. I'm following the rules of not being insulting.
No, you can't. Don't be stupid. Think.
Is that an insulting thing to say?
Yes, no, of course it's very insulting.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, there were these rules of not to be insulting.
But if you keep interrupting me and you're being remedial, I have to call you out. This is part of the responsibility. You've asked me several times, why aren't you married? And I've told you several times, I pick.
Well, no, because you know that she's not married, and so you keep asking her the same question. So I was just doing the same thing you were doing to her.
Monica, can you explain to these girls what I'm trying to say, please? Because maybe a female voice can explain.
What part?
She literally just told me Jackie gets to pick, or Jackie. I keep asking Jackie if she's married. And I just told you what, Aguilera? I get to pick. You don't. She doesn't get to pick. A man gets to pick. Like, in what is so confusing about this?
I never said that.
The man picks.
But I you in return. I get to decide who I choose as well in return. For the men.
But that will lead you to not getting chosen because of where you are in that man's options.
This is common sense, bro. And then they try to act like I'm being confused. It's like logic. It's like logic.
Just because I'm not choosing to be married to somebody or date somebody seriously at the moment because I don't want to.
Okay. That's not even it. It's the fact that one, you're divorced, two, you have kids.
So what's wrong with that?
And then you don't want to have more kids. And a lot of men who you want at that certain caliber want to have kids and prefer a woman who might be younger and who doesn't have kids already.
And older that don't want any more kids at all because they have their own kids. They have their stable lives.
And they're going to take care of yours.
To enjoy life with a partner.
They're going to take care of yours because that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
They're going to take care of their kids and your kids.
Why would he want to do that?
Like, what are you saying? What? No, he's not. No guy is going to pick that. None. No man on the planet. They will
if he could choose between baggage and no baggage, he's going to want no baggage. There is, I'm not going to deny there is a possibility, but it's not likely that you will encounter a man who's going to make X amount of money, who's going to take you in with all your kids. And, that's not even a diss. It's just like a reality. And if you don't if that's not where you want to be at, realistic, reality wise, then just say that, that's fine.
Look what a guy said in the comments. Look what a guy said in the comments.
With you, and I don't agree with you.
Look what a guy said in the comments. Recreational use only. This is what men think about women with children that are not his. They will tell you whatever they want to tell you. I don't think women please stop moving the goalposts for a second. I'm trying to give you an insight of what men are thinking. You're fighting me, and I'm telling you, men, the kind of men you're going to want, are not going to take you seriously. They're not going to take care of your kids. They're going to tell you that. Fuck you a couple of times and move on. So you have put yourself at a disadvantage. So I'm trying to get women to understand to not do. Don't think that I can be who I am and still get the options I want. It's not going to happen. The same thing I'm telling men. Don't be a delusional guy and think that you're going to attract a bunch of women if you're not in shape, if you don't make money, if you're not confident. I'm giving men the responsibility. I'm trying to give you the responsibility.
Give me the responsibility of what? You're literally just trying to tell me that I can't get what I'm looking for because I am divorced, because I have kids. That's what you're trying to tell me. So you're not giving me any responsibility. You're simply just telling me that I can't get what my expectation is and what my desire is because of your perception of what men want. And that's not true. It's false to assume that people are just like you.
No.
That you're
You
less
don't want to accept the reality of what all
expected.
men want.
Yes, there may be a lot of men who have your mindset, but not all.
No guy, I guarantee you.
Do this, and I'm not looking for your
Go ahead,
type.
Tasha. Tasha, go ahead. Go ahead, Tasha.
Look, so I have a question. Do you believe that there is an objective truth?
You're talking to Jackie, right?
Truth. Yes, I'm asking you, Miss Jackie.
Go ahead. What was your question?
Do you believe that there is an objective truth?
An objective truth to what?
In general. That there is something, that truth is something objective and not necessarily something subjective.
In regards to this topic?
Yes.
No, I think that everybody's perception.
It's like, I mean, if truth is objective, that means in every aspect is something objective. We're talking about it. Of course, there is always an exception to the majority, right? To the rule, I would say, right? But when we talk about stuff like that, like what he's trying to say is that there's like an objective truth, like how things go, right? And your point of view doesn't.
Your opinions don't matter. This is the unfortunate reality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think you should get. It's not the reality of what you're going to get. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. What you have, this is the problem with how women have been coddled and lied to for so long. Baby, you can do no wrong. Led y'all to make horrible decisions and then think that there's always going to be what you want out there. That is not fair to women. I'm trying to give you more options. I'm trying to tell women, don't make certain mistakes so you can get the most from men. But I got girls arguing with me, telling me, oh, why aren't you married? I pick, you don't. This shit is common sense. If you build yourself up as a man, I get to decide when I want to marry. You don't as a woman. You have to wait for the right kind of man to come find you. You don't get to pick a guy who's extremely successful and tell him he's going to take care of his kids and yours. That shit is delusional.
That would be his choice.
It's delusional. Any guy that you want is not going to want that. Stop talking about your opinions. It don't matter. What happens? What is reality? Reality is human beings are selfish. They want what's best for them. If a guy that you want, if a guy that you're attracted to, that has the kind of money that you want, he's not going to pick you. If you think, oh, because I'm internal. Okay. 50, 60, more cats, more dogs. I'm trying to get you to understand reality and say, hey.
If you say so. I'm going to leave it at that because there's no arguing with you, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is trying to push your belief, your agenda, and what you're preaching to everyone.
How is that okay?
But that's
okay. That's okay because this is your platform and you're speaking to your people and this is what you do. And that's
you have two other girls here.
That's totally fine.
But listen, Jackie, you have two other girls here.
And that's okay. But the other ones, what about the other ones?
Maria agrees with me too.
I stand with Jackie.
Thank you.
Of course.
The thing is, your experience, what you are thinking doesn't always align with the truth, like how things truly are. Like
what makes your experience and your truth align with
no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, there's no thing. Okay, let's get out of the topic.
An objective
when you have kids, right? Or you have kids, or whoever. We all raise our kids different, right? Right? Because it's subjective to what we believe. So we are all different.
The way you were raised or someone else, yes, it may be different. But the way your nature, the nature of a man and the nature of a woman is not that great.
Okay, but we're all women. So let's exclude him for a second. We're all women, right? So we have the ability to have kids, right? So we're all women. the way that I raise my children is going to be different than the way that you raise your children based on your views, your perceptions, and what is true and real to you. So
if I get
Wait,
a daughter, it will, the daughter now will completely different as another daughter of another person, right? Because like your nature, what attracts you, what you desire, like from a natural perspective, right? Not like, I'm not talking about like a character or something that is individual, right? It will not.
Tasha, wait.
Yes.
Jackie, you keep moving the goalposts. You just said, when I raise a child, how I raise my child is going to be different from how you raise your child. No shit. We're talking about men that you have to attract. Not, you keep confusing what you feel.
What I'm trying to tell you.
No, because you.
We function different.
No.
Can I say something really quickly? Oh.
And we're all going to do things different based on our experiences, based on how we see things to be fit. And we're going to move in the way that our beliefs are set. That's it. You're moving
Tiffany.
And I'm in the way that my beliefs are set.
Ahead,
and I'm going to change that for the world's perception or for what your perception is or whatever you think is.
No, you're just delusional. You're delusional.
It doesn't matter because at the end of the day,
it does matter that you're delusional.
And my viewpoint is what I'll stand on, and you can stand on yours, and that's fine. Whatever.
If I go outside and I say the sky is green, and everybody else said the sky is blue, my viewpoint doesn't really hold up with what society believes. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Your viewpoints and what society, the standards, what men want that you have to attract.
That's okay for those men, but there are men who are different than you. Okay. Although they may be small. About this, right? Ocean to pond. So my pond may be my pond, but there's a pond, and there's people in that pond, and that's cool.
Let me let Jackie go. Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think there's points being made all across the board. I think there's just a generalization of men being made, and I think a man in his 20s or 30s wants something different than like late 30s, early 40s, 50s that has kids, is established, isn't necessarily looking to like start a family, and is going to maybe want a woman that's already done that, is on the same wavelength that he is. So to say that like no man wants this, I get where you're coming with that, like a younger guy that hasn't done all those things that may want to start fresh. But I also think that, you know, with divorce rate being so high, I think nowadays a lot of men are getting divorced in their 30s and 40s that didn't work the first time around, but still want to get married again and still want to try again. And that will be very open to that, even if you're a high value man.
I agree with that.
A dumb 20, not that if you know, but like
I agree. Listen,
they want someone that's done it and experienced it just like them.
Tiffany, I agree with that. Right? If a man is older and he wants something different in his life, great. But the fact that she's going to expect him to take care of her kids, that is the thing right there that I know for sure. If a man has his own kids and he has to take care of the woman that he had kids with, he's not going to want to take care of another woman and her kids. If he already had kids and the woman doesn't want to have kids and he's single, I understand. Stop.
Check this out. My kids have a father.
Okay.
A very present father. So they have a dad. I don't need somebody to be their dad. However, the person that I choose and the person that I choose to be with, or whoever is I'm going to be in a marriage with, I would want them to love my kids just as much, because that means that you love me. You love me and everything about me, everything that I came with, and vice versa. I will do the same with your kids. But my kids have a father. I'm not looking for a man to be my kid's father, especially not in the dating or not to date or anything like that. But I still have a long way to go in terms of dating and choosing who I want to pursue a relationship with or whatever the case may be. I'm not looking for my kids to have a father. They have a father.
But the problem is this, Jackie.
And is very present and provides for them on his part. And I provide on my part. It's not until we're discussing marriage and moving forward in a relationship that I'll be looking.
Okay, Jackie, I perfectly fine. All right, but in the beginning,
girlfriend,
she don't get to fucking talk over me. You don't tell her who
hey,
talks
she's
on my show.
For a minute.
Who the hell? Don't do that again.
Hey, she's been raising
I'm
her
talking to you,
about
and
respect.
when I'm
Okay,
ready for her to
thank you
talk,
so much. I do have to go. I do enjoy the conversation. I just wanted
Okay.
to let you guys know that I was leaving without just abruptly leaving.
thank you. Have
Okay,
a good
thank
one.
you so much.
Peace. But listen, Jackie. See, this is part of the behavior that men are not gonna like. I'm speaking to you, and you just on my podcast, you're gonna tell somebody else to go talk over me. Like you think men who are confident, who are leaders, are gonna tolerate that kind of behavior? Forget the kids for a second. Forget all this stuff. I'm talking about your behavior is
What
not attract. Stop talking. Stop talking. Your behavior is not attractive to most men. The kind of man that you want. Don't do that. That's not thing. No man of confidence as a leader is going to want a woman that is disagreeable, combative, a headache, telling her like that right there was just, oh, go ahead, girl. On my show.
We're not being disagreeable or combative. This is a debate, right? So this is what you asked for
Right,
us.
and I'm telling you, I'm
ask
seeing
for
your behavior.
conversation.
I'm
So
seeing your
my
behavior.
opinion, I was pretty silent most of the podcast, and
You have been talking the most.
So now that I'm speaking, this is what you asked for.
No.
You asked for debate. You asked for conversation. It wasn't to be combative. It's to tell you my point of view. So what you're saying is that you don't want to hear a point of view, but yet you invited
I
us
want to hear it.
podcast.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth.
For our point of view. So
now you're putting words in my mouth. When did I say I don't want to hear your point of view?
You just said that by me speaking what I'm speaking, I'm being or I'm being disagreeable.
That's not what I said.
No,
I said you told another girl to talk over me.
Content to make women seem like we're the bad guy or like we're not getting what we want because we're a certain
No, there are girls who agree with me. You're not listen. There are girls who agree with me. I'm talking about what I'm listening to what you're saying. Your behavior. You just missed the whole thing I just mentioned. You told another girl to talk over me. That behavior is very unattractive to men. You are masculine. You have a masculine nature that is not agreeable.
She was waving. That's it.
How come nobody else today has told when they were speaking to me?
I was talking. So she was waving.
I have no. Let me show you why your behavior. Let me show you why your behavior is independent. And this is not every girl on this podcast. I have spoken to every girl on this podcast, and they have not. No girl has ever said, "You go, girl, over me." None. That's what I mean. That singular behavior
wanted to address me.
But I'm trying to help you, Jackie. That kind of behavior is what men do not like. It's not attractive. It's not agreeable. Like there's too much masculine. A man does not want to be with a. Do you see what I'm saying? A man does not want to be with a masculine woman.
Of me and my femininity and what a man loves about me and in my feminine energy, because I told somebody who was waving while I was in conversation that she wanted to chime in.
No, you knew I was.
So you're making a fool.
No, that's because I was speaking to you, and then you said you went ahead and said go ahead. That was to try to talk over me.
I was speaking. You gave me the floor and I was speaking and she was
no. The host, he decides, not we hear, we answer, but that's a little bit disrespectful, I think. But
I'm gonna say this.
Right? I apologize if it was disrespectful, but that's not defining anything about it. I apologize if it was disrespectful to you, but I was in conversation and he waited. So I said, okay, go ahead.
Hear me out, Jackie. Listen, this is what I mean. Guys who understand women can pay attention to certain behaviors, right? I'm not saying that we don't have it. Nobody can work on. Everybody has faults. Everybody should take responsibility. That's my whole point here. I'm trying to say there are certain things that certain kind of men will not. I'm trying to help you. I'm not here against you.
I don't need your help. I didn't ask for your assistance.
Okay, here we go. See,
I truly don't need your help. I didn't ask for your assistance. This is not what this is about. My perception of this podcast was to get our perspectives in general, not for your perspective to be the sole perspective that takes precedence over everything just because it's your podcast. If we're having a conversation,
you just have too much masculinity.
Is what yours is, what the other young ladies is.
No, Jackie, you have too much masculine energy. I've had several podcasts where girls did not agree with me on anything. It doesn't matter. You can. I'm not here to get my last word, but I'm saying and then look at the nature. Look at your nature. I don't need your help. I ain't come here for you to help me.
I didn't.
When you asked me what my purpose was, stop. When you asked me what my purpose was,
here for you to help me. Very egotistical, because I was invited to this podcast with no other premise but saying, hey, we're gonna have a conversation about dating. That was the premise of this podcast.
Jackie,
they were misleading, and then aside from being misleading, then you come on the attack and expect me
who is attacking who?
On defense.
You feel attacked because you don't.
The premise of this podcast was to have a conversation.
No, you're too masculine.
That's what I got.
They're telling me to kick you off. I'm gonna give this is your last chance.
You guys, but the message that I got was about.
They're telling me to kick you off. This is your last chance interrupting me.
That's okay. I have to go anyways. So I have a nail appointment, but you guys have a beautiful time.
Ladies, please.
I'm so shocked. I'm shocked you didn't kick her out before.
I need y'all to understand. I am not here to attack you. But if we can't have a conversation and she asked me what my purpose was. My purpose was to give understanding. I'm trying to let you guys understand what men are thinking. I don't need your help. This is the energy that men are fucking running away from. I'm trying to give you the game. Men do not want to deal with those kind of women. And then you go and say, I want a guy that makes this amount of money. And then he's going to take care of my kids as well. A guy with that kind of money is going to deal with that? Come on, bro. Look at the comments. I don't have to say nothing. Look at what they're saying about the girl. This is what men see. They can't speak to y'all. But that's what men are going to think. And then the men that have the power to say no are not going to tolerate it. So you can disagree. I don't need you to agree with anything I'm saying. But let's have understanding. Let's not be masculine. Your power as a woman, ladies, is that you're feminine. A man can feel at peace with you. A man can feel like I don't have to fight against the world when I'm with my girl. Not I'm with my girl that feel like she doesn't need me. I'm with my girl that's like, no, men don't want that kind of energy. All right. And then what you would get are the masculine girls who are past their prime, who can't get the guy they want, attack women like y'all and say, no, they're picking me. They're this and this. Well, no fucking shit. You want to be a pick me. You want to get picked? No, don't get picked. This shit is crazy. Ladies, your fellow woman is your biggest enemy. I am saying your fellow, hear me out, Tiffany, your fellow woman, women, you guys are in competition with each other. But if you guys just sit and just listen, the purpose of what I'm trying to do is get women to understand what's going to give you the best outcome long term. As a woman, however old you guys are, what's going to give you the best outcome long term? You being combative, you being disagreeable, you not being what a man wants. Is that what's going to give you the best outcome long term? Or are you saying, you know what? Let me see what these men are saying so I can get me a man. I make these mistakes of these angry women. I don't want you guys to be angry. I don't want you guys to hate men. Same thing with men. I don't want men to hate women. Understand each other and then choose. All right. What do y'all want to say?
I agree, but I still don't agree with the fact that just because you provide an X and Y, you shit on the relationship.
See, you can disagree, right? You see, you can disagree, right? You didn't have to agree with me. This is not a show that you need to agree.
Yeah, if I may. I just also think as a society, there's been an issue where we can't handle hearing someone's opinion that's different from us and not becoming attackful and defensive. And I think that's in part with men too, right? Like we can't just sit and listen to each other and hear each other out and see if there's anything we can take from it. I think women and men both do that, and that's a big issue nowadays.
So what I want to get everybody to understand is this. Men have faults. Men have things we need to improve, right? For a lot of guys, the instant gratification, the porn, the not being a leader, a lot of men are more feminized now more than ever, right? Which does leave women with less masculine men. But there are guys trying to push men to not be like that. What I'm saying is for women, the problem with who's trying to help women is that all the information is just telling you guys what you want to hear. No, babe, you can do whatever you want. No, babe, but that does not give you the best benefit. If I was the person that told men, hey, do whatever you want, bro, girls are gonna still pick you. I know we're gonna still disagree on certain things, right? But we can disagree. You can disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me. Let's talk about it. Hear my point of view. Maybe you change, or maybe not. But everybody needs fixing. When you say you don't need my help, but you're a single mom with no man, that's crazy. You do need my help. You need a lot of men's help. You need to listen to what men are saying because you have not been picked. You have not won. I don't want women to continue like this, making dumb decisions, being picked last, and thinking, nah, I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? No.
I agree with, I don't know if you're done, but I agree with a lot of the stuff that you've said. And I agree also with Maria. The only thing that you really lost me was the not having the family unit, which I know I'm kind of repeating that, but like, that's the one thing you really lost me on, because I think loyalty is really big in family. And I think that's just an issue there. I don't know. I don't think that gives you that right. Just because you earn a lot of money, you can step out on your blood.
All right. I understand that. The problem with that though, is I don't want ladies to then be lied to by men who tell you they won't do that and they still go and do it behind your back. So what would you guys agree will be better for you? Let's say you get with this guy that you think is your dream man, and then you find out 10 years later he's been fucking other girls on the side. Or you get a guy, and I'm telling you, you have clear boundaries with, all right? He's not going to do these things, and it's not going to be in your face, and you have the choice to stay or leave. I'm saying you don't have to accept either. But if you're going to deal with men, at least be open to the fact that, because what's going to hurt you the most is the fact that if he tells you, I won't do this, and then you find out he's doing all of this shit, that's going to be even more traumatic. So just be open if you want to deal with this kind of guy. If you're going to make a decision, say, you know what? I'm only going to accept this on these terms. If you find a guy who's going to do all of these things and is a great provider and doesn't want to fuck other women, great. I'm not saying that every guy wants to fuck but it's in our nature. And most men, if they could and nobody knew, he would do it. That's what I'm saying. What do y'all want to say?
I agree with you. I think transparency is key. I think going into any sort of relationship, especially a long-term commitment, being honest about what your needs and wants are. And I do respect that the fact that you say if a guy knows he's going to step out, tell her before she signs up for this.
Yes.
And if she wants to sign up for it, then that is her decision, and there's an agreement there. So I do actually respect that.
I'm all about responsibility.
Right.
I'm all about responsibility.
Yeah, and I don't judge relationships, right? Like everyone goes into a relationship for different reasons. And if you want a man to provide for you and you're okay with him, putting himself in other things, then so be it. Like I'm not going to judge you for that, but to each their own.
See, Tiffany, you disagree with me. Marie, you disagree with me. Tasha, you disagree with me. But neither of us have.
Hardly.
Right. But none of us have had to scream at each other. Forget everything I've said. What I'm trying to get women to understand is that's what men want. We can talk, we can disagree, but when you become the woman that is, my man is gonna have a hard time just dealing with me, a man is not gonna tolerate that. So you guys have a personality where you can disagree with your man, but not drive him to the point where he starts losing his mind because you think that it needs to be this way. Don't be that way, because he's a masculine man. He wants to lead. And a lot of women feel like if you're trying to share leadership with a man, and it's going to drive men away.
Do you think, I'm just asking here, some women have stepped more into their masculine because men have stepped more into their feminine, and they're like, you have no other option, right, to step into that? not saying I do it, I'm just saying as a woman that stepped into that, because the man isn't speaking his truth. There's a lack of emotional intelligence there. So you almost have to lead because he's not capable of handling it.
Of course, there are
right?
a lot of things that men do wrong in terms of dealing with women. A lot of men don't know how to lead. A lot of men don't know how, like, this is the thing about ladies, the thing about women. The unfortunate reality is men have to understand y'all. Right? There's and that's why they need guys like me. A regular guy, no understanding of women, he's gonna screw it up. Because women are emotional. You need to lead a certain way. You need to know how to give space. I know you might not agree, but this is who women are. A man needs to understand women. But a lot of men don't. A lot of men don't take the time to be separate, to be better, right? To know how to lead, to know how to be confident, to know how to be the guy that women want, and they don't get what they want out of women. So those are the guys that are struggling the most. The guys who don't want to accept the reality. The thing about women is this: you guys are hypergamous. Hypergamous being you want the best guy. This is in your nature. You're like this so you can give your offspring the best chance to survive. Women have to be this way. Now, I'm telling guys, be the best guy, and then you get to pick. If you're going to be with this woman, tell her, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do. Let her accept it. So yes, a lot of men are feminized. A lot of men don't understand women. A lot of men do live in instant gratification. A lot of men can't even keep erections, watching too much porn, not being in good shape, no healthy diet. They can't even fuck girls. But we need somebody to give men a foot in their ass, and women as well. If relationships are ever gonna go back to anything. But if for people to come on here, and I've had girls come on here, same like y'all, disagree with me, and no screaming and yelling. No, like I see girls, I deal with girls. So when girls are telling me, I know what the girls that men want act like, and I know what the men that women want act like. I've seen it on both sides.
I've seen men getting emotional. It's insane how quick they are to just panic and become argumentative and scream and cry. And it's like you're dealing with a child. I'm not saying all men are like that, but I feel like it's increased a lot.
The reason being is because men are not forced to be men anymore. Right?
Like nowadays, when you see masculine men, like for men, now put it this way. Nowadays, we have people telling men that masculinity is like toxic, or that stuff that they do is wrong. But that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with masculinity. Masculinity at its core, like it can be toxic, like in any way. And due to like the society that talks it's like down, men don't thrive for that no more. Like the society tries to make them more feminine, but that causes all of those problems. So what men actually have to do in today's society, I would say, is just to become more masculine and not to hear to all of these comments that the society tries to put on them in a way.
Go ahead, Monica.
Yeah, I just to piggyback on that, like I agree. Masculinity at its core is a beautiful thing, but we have women, like everyone's hormones are all out of whack. Women are taking birth control, and men are fapping and prefer to subscribe to like OnlyFans models and shit like that. Like it's all out of whack.
That's a huge thing. I've seen people who is with a considered high value woman, or at least close to that, and they keep like, if you see who they follow, is like full of all the naked girls. If you go to the profile, they go and they just like all their booties, and then it's hard. That's why I said what I said before. It's so hard to keep trying to be a high value woman, or try to hold your values when the high value men like that. You know,
no, don't fall for that. That's who men want to fuck. Please. This is what women don't understand about men. Who men? So this is the thing about this is why when women sexualize themselves, this is one of the questions I wanted to discuss, but we don't have that much time. When a woman sexualizes herself, you become something that a man sees as quick sex. So because you're seeing men lust for a certain group of women, does not mean those are the women that he's gonna marry. I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet money. You take a high value guy and you take you with no booty pictures, no ass. I hope you don't have any. You're not sexualizing yourself. And you take a girl who is, he's going to lust after this girl to fuck her. But who is he going to take home? Who is he going to be?
I know that part, but like what I'm saying is once you're into a relationship, you know
no. Your man shouldn't do that. No.
Right?
Of course not. No, I don't agree with that shit. No.
Wait, what do you say? You men should or should not?
Fuck no. Your guy should not be liking naked. Come on.
Right? That's the thing. I've seen it with my eyes. That's so fucked up. And I think it's so hard to keep up being, because I've seen it with my eyes. It's hard. It's hard to keep trying to, let's see, I'm going to give you an example. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I was committing is being a faithful woman, right? And I think I was missing to actually mean it, you know? And I'm trying to build my relationship with God because I think that's, for my perspective, for what I want. Not everybody has to agree. Mm-hmm. God has to be into the relationship for it to work. And I'm trying to I'm trying to like fix that side of my perspective. But it's so hard. It's so hard to go outside and be seeing all of these girls like half naked and doing all of those things. And then you see the guy who is requesting, who is craving a high value woman and might have it too. And they're liking that.
Okay, no, I don't agree with that. No. This is what I mean by the boundaries, right? I don't think your man should disgrace you like that. All right, you should not have a guy and he's over here liking girl. That is disrespectful. I think that's disrespectful. I don't think a guy should do that. I think that's actually disgraceful for the girl because it makes the woman look bad. It's the same way I don't want my girl following random dudes. Now, what I would say though, I don't believe in him disgracing you and making you look stupid and liking girls' pictures and following girls. But I'm saying if he's willing to provide for everything and he fucks these girls, that's where we gotta disagree. It's fair. We can disagree. If he fucks these girls and that's it, you might have to understand that. You don't have to, Maria. I understand. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he should disgrace you and make you look stupid. I don't agree with that at all. Yeah. If you're with a girl and you over here and it's is known that like you no. But
a lot of guys are doing that though. Like they just think it's completely okay.
No, but they shouldn't. So I don't agree.
So then when the woman comes and says something, they're like, or for example, because I've seen it with my friends, he's so insecure or she is very insecure. So they hold the excuse of, I'm insecure. That's why.
No. That's not it. No. I don't agree with that. No. I do not believe a guy should disrespect his girl to the point where she has to call you out about liking it. No, I think there needs to be a level of respect. If this is going to be my girlfriend, there are things that I'm not going to do to disrespect her. And if she calls me out on it as a man, you have to say, okay, no way in the world you should accept the man liking another girl.
Okay, but don't you think, if you think that a picture or a follow or a like is disrespect and make the woman that you are with, considering her a high value woman, that's disrespectful. Do you think having sex with another woman out there and just come back to her at home just because you provide, isn't it that disrespectful?
Let me explain to you why. It's not in your face. Because he might be liking these girls' pictures, right? And all he really wants to do is fuck them. And he loves you. But once it becomes in your face, I don't vouch for men doing things in the girl's face. If you're gonna do things with other women, she should not see, hear, or know about it. You have boundaries. You don't put it in her face. And if she's willing to accept that, fine. What I'm saying though, a lot of men will tell you guys what you want to hear because they don't have a choice. They're gonna say, yes, baby, I'm only gonna be with you. And then they go do this shit. So who do you want? Do you want the guy that I'm telling you, hey, he's not gonna disrespect you, he's not gonna be in your face, you're never gonna know about it, and he's gonna provide for you and protect you? Or do you want the guy that tells you what you want to hear, which is what most women want, and then you find out he's been doing this and this and this on the side? Who would you pick?
What?
Who would you pick out of those two guys?
No, listen. I'm gonna pick the one who is building his faith and relationship with God too, because that type of man is the man that once jump into a relationship is gonna respect it. I believe, and I have the faith, and I truly have the faith that that's real.
Right. Men of faith cheat too. So listen, ladies, all I'm trying to say is this: I don't want you to be bamboozled. I don't want you to be because it hurts even more when you've been told something and something else happens. I know how you guys operate. When a guy tells you he's all of these things and more, and then you find out later that he's not who he is because he was trying to suppress, his urges as a man to be with you, it's gonna hurt you a lot more. If you find a guy who's truthful to that, perfect. You won. But 9 times out of 10, or a lot of times, a man is still gonna want to fuck another girl. I'm telling you, ladies. It's just we have 7 times more testosterone than you. Y'all don't understand how horny men are. Men it will fuck literally, and it doesn't mean anything. I mean, like it doesn't mean, but have those boundaries with him, and you have the right to leave. If he steps over those boundaries, you can leave him. If he disrespects you, if he does it in your face, you can leave him. I'm just saying, at least give yourself a choice. Up to you. You don't have to. And you in Miami too?
This is hard. Very hot. And it's not because of the weather.
It's interesting with Miami. I moved here because my dad's here and I'm really close to him. I didn't really want to move to Miami because of how it is, but it's shocking. There's so many beautiful women. You step outside and there's like dimes everywhere. But I've noticed with like the friends that I made here and the guys that I've met is a lot of these beautiful women don't have much going on upstairs, if you get what I mean. And something that I feel like you didn't touch on was also finding a woman, not just, I think you put a lot of emphasis on looks, but I think guys also want a woman that's intelligent and can, I don't know.
No, I agree. But this
have that also, because like if it was just looks, then every beautiful virgin would have a husband, and that's not the case.
No. I think when talking about a woman who is smart and all of that, so that's a problem when it comes to feminine and femininity. So the woman that is super strong and independent and I'm super smart, I have 3 careers, 7 careers, and all of that, a man doesn't care if you, a real man doesn't care if you make $10 or $10,000 or $10 million. They want you to have a purpose in your life. They don't want just a beauty thing to carry, They don't want to have just, the keys of the car. They don't want to have the little shiny next to the keys. They want to have the car too. They want to have the whole package. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a full package. It's not only beauty. That's why the other girl left, because she didn't like the fact that he was making emphasis on money-wise, right? But he also says the full package is like everything.
All right. She didn't want to listen to me. but listen, Tiffany, the thing is this. This is the harsh reality, right, of being a woman. This is why it's we all have our difficulties in dating. The harsh reality is this. Men don't value. See, we obviously want a woman who's intelligent, but like a woman's IQ and all these things do not matter to a man as much as how much peace she brings him. He can have a woman who is illiterate that doesn't know how to read or write, but if she makes this motherfucker happy and she brings him peace, he will pick her. We're just go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't disagree with you. I just think there's more to it, right? Like, I think a really good example that just happened recently is Jeff Bezos, who just got engaged to a woman that is older, and I actually think she's very attractive, who's been married, has kids, and seems smart. I don't know. What do you think about? What are your thoughts on that? Because
Jeff Bezos is not a good example.
why not? He's like the richest man.
No,
I think a lot of
Okay. How about this? Let's do a quick intermission because I have to use the bathroom. I drink a lot of water, and then I'm gonna touch on this topic. Quick intermission, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm back. All right. So Jeff Bezos is a bad example. And here's why. Jeff Bezos is a guy who I believe has led with his success more so than him understanding women. If you look at his first relationship, he cheated on the first wife, right? That's why she left him, right?
I don't know the reason.
He cheated on her. He wanted to fuck other women, right? He's extreme success, options with women. He wants to sleep with other women. And now he's with a woman that I think he is leading too much with his success and not so much of hard, genuine desire. This was the same woman that was caught giving Leonardo DiCaprio the eyes. It went viral like a year ago. She was so attracted to Leonardo DiCaprio. And like he just sat there and took it. I don't think men should be like that. I think as a man, you have to be attractive. You can't lead with one thing. You can't just have one thing. And I think she's gonna leave him too. So he's not a good example because he doesn't have everything. And then he got a woman who she's a little older. She has the richest man in the world. Obviously, she's gonna take it, right? But he doesn't really understand women to understand that women will still step out on you for a man they genuinely desire. This is part of who y'all's nature as well, right? And when a man just leads with one thing and is not well-rounded, he ends up losing most women. If I'm being honest, if any of you guys right now were dealing with a guy that you didn't find sexually attractive and you dealt with, I guarantee you it's gonna be easy for y'all to cheat on him. Guarantee you.
But as you said earlier, women and men cheat for different reasons, right? I think women cheat when they're feeling emotionally neglected. Statistically, isn't that how it is? And then men,
when there is no respect, when they don't respect the men, I would say rather that's the case.
That too.
When they can, when they have someone that they can submit to in a way that has no authorities and doesn't does his roles in a way.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. Ladies, women, you guys love to earn something. Right? It makes the man that you're with seem more valuable. You guys don't want a man to bend over backwards for you. So when you don't have to earn anything with a man, basically Jeff Bezos with this girl, you don't respect him. And if you don't find him attractive alongside that, that's an easy recipe for cheating. Easy.
Yeah, of course. But I also think women have different standards than men do when it comes to looks and what you find attractive.
Oh, but then her look, what she found attractive was very apparent with Leonardo DiCaprio. That showed us right there exactly. That showed us right there exactly that was genuine desire. That's the thing. If you don't have that from your woman, and you just lead with one thing, that's the problem with leading with one thing. You run the risk of being divorced and her taking half your shit. She's just putting up with it because he's extremely successful, but that's all he is technically leading with.
Yes, but some women are attracted to like nerdy men that aren't the most. I actually don't think Jeff Bezos is a bad looking guy. He's like very much in shape, and I don't know, he's not the worst.
But I don't think he's her. From her reaction on how she was gawking over DiCaprio, that tells me the little attraction she has for Bezos.
I agree with you. I think when you're with someone, you should be fully attracted to them, and you shouldn't be gawking at someone else. It's very disrespectful.
If it's that clear, a big difference in attraction, that's not a good sign. Obviously, you're gonna find out the guy's attractive. I'm not stupid. You can be with a guy who's the most handsome guy in the world, but you're gonna still see another attractive guy. But if you feel like your man is above average in looks, you're attracted to him, and he has everything else, it's gonna be very hard for somebody else to take you.
Now, what if the genders were reversed? Do you think it's okay for Bezos to be gawking at women?
No, not in front of her. No.
Okay, that's fair. I respect that.
No. If you're with a girl, there should be a level of respect. I'm not telling guys they could be disrespectful to women and just say whatever they want. No, there should be a level of respect. Like you should not disrespect your girl because I honestly believe that kills the attachment. If your girl doesn't feel like you care about her, like I don't think it's gonna last long, right? Right. So, but if you're gonna fuck other girls, just don't let her know about it.
I thought you said they'll be transparent. Now you're changing that. You said
no. I didn't mean don't let her know about it as in hide it from her. Don't be all in her face with it. Don't disrespect her in her face. Don't like other girls' pictures. Don't be staring at other girls. If it's gonna happen, it's not in front of your girl.
Here's my only caveat with that. You're saying the guy should keep it clean. Okay, let's just run with that. Mm-hmm. How many times have we seen in the news with celebrities, some random girl, like some OnlyFans model or a nanny or whoever, comes out with either texts, pictures, you name it, of some high-profile guy that she was talking to or hooking up with, and exposes the whole thing, and like shit hits the fan. So like, is that even possible?
Yeah.
Can a woman keep it clean?
That's the thing. Those are the boundaries you have to have with your man. Like you have to sit and discuss with him. I'm not going to accept being shamed in public. All right. So he has to make sure that he does. That's his responsibility. See, I'm telling the men to do, if they want to fuck other girls, it should never be in your girl's face. I don't agree with that. And if it ever blows up, you got to take fall on that, and she can leave. If I got a girl and I'm fucking other girls and some stupid shit happening, it's all over the news, and it's her, she has every right to leave me because it's my fault. I shouldn't have let that get to this.
Right. But my question is, do you think the situation you're describing is really actually possible in reality? You do.
As long he has to be meticulous about everything he does.
That sounds exhausting.
No? He's transparent with everybody. hey, I have a girl, right? We can have our fun, but I have a girl. I'm not telling him to lie to other girls. Oh yeah, because if he lies to other girls, then there's gonna be a problem. I'm saying if he's gonna do this, and a lot of women, it happens. It's happening right now. Women are accepting it. There are guys that are high profile who are fucking other girls when they have a wife. It's just you have to be honest with everybody. As long as the boundaries are not crossed, fair. If not, hey, you guys don't. Y'all are in Miami. This is the reality of you guys, all right? I don't know about Monica's in LA. Tasha, where do you live?
Germany.
Okay. I don't know the dating market there. But you guys, LA and Miami, you guys are dealing, you're in the location with probably the most successful men in the world. So you're gonna be dealing with men that I don't know what to tell y'all. I do not know what to tell you. Like, I mean, any hot guy that's rich, handsome, and a leader in Miami or LA, you got to compete. I think what women should do is show the man that you can be, you're his best woman. I think that's what women need to do. Don't just say no, he should just give me loyalty and all of this. No, I don't think that's real. I don't think that's realistic. Show him that you're his best woman. Understand what comes with this kind of guy, and just have boundaries. Hey, I'm not gonna accept this. I'm not gonna accept this. I'm not gonna accept this. That's fair.
Do you think it's crazy when you say that to the man in the first date? Like, what do you consider? What do you consider is the right order? I wanna hear this.
You have to do this after. No, definitely not the first date.
Right, because they're gonna look at you like this girl is crazy.
Yeah. So okay. Now I'm giving strategies to women. I'm betraying the men. So if I'm a woman, what I would do is this: I would add value to a man's life. Show him how valuable you could be to his life. Obviously, this is a guy you want to be with. Don't be needy. Don't be pushy. Right? This is what actually makes men pick you. If you're the girl that brings him the most peace, he's gonna pick you, 100%. Add to his life, do things for him without him asking for it. Right? Don't be entitled to anything. And I guarantee it's gonna get to the point where you guys are gonna want something more. Because this is the problem with other girls. This is how you could win as a woman. There are other girls out there who don't understand what I'm saying, who think that it's always a war, and they're gonna lose these kind of guys. They're just gonna push them away. All right? Oh, it's my way or no way, but you want a A-list guy, good luck with that. All right? This kind of guy is gonna have options with women, add to his life, and then when it gets to the point where you guys want something more, tell him what you will and will not accept. Bro, you will get taken care of. It's so easy for women, bro. Oh my God. It's so easy. Shit is too easy, bro. It's too easy. People just want to tell y'all what y'all want to hear. If women were to really win, that's the strategy. Get your ass. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I don't know if you're pausing or not. I do agree with you. I think women at times do make it a lot more difficult than it needs to be and get angry about dumb stuff and create these issues and take it too seriously and want a guy to be exclusive. I don't know why you're asking a guy to do stuff. Either he wants to do it or he doesn't want to do it. And if he's not going to do it, asking him is just setting you up at a disadvantage. I see Monica's. I not that it's my call, but I feel like you wanted to jump in on what I was saying.
Go ahead, Monica.
Yeah, I think that there's a big problem when like men will literally say who they are and what they want, and women, we overcomplicate things and we're like, oh, maybe he means this, oh, maybe I have to do this or be that. It's like, bro, he just told you what it is that he is and what he wants, but we tend to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
And I think also there is like a superhero in the women's that I think, okay, I might be wrong, but I think a woman has to have an experience trying to be this superhero once in her life to understand that that's not our role. Because we say like, okay, no, he's like that, he says that, I'm gonna accept it, but I'm gonna help him to change. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna show him. I wanna teach him. I'll be there for him to change.
But you can get that. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening to me.
No. I'm saying that women should not.
No, I think you should. Just do it a different way.
No,
You should. Listen. Every woman wants her man to change for her. I understand.
Oh yeah, of course. Because as a man, you have all that things that you're doing, and you're
right
closing all those doors to get into their relationship.
But you can do it if you apply the right strategy as a woman. You can get those things from him.
No, but I'm saying I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like a drug guy or a drunk guy, or alcoholic guy. That's what I'm saying. Like that, the superhero. That's what I mean. Like that type of superhero. Like, oh no, he abused physically and emotionally, but he's gonna change. That's
no.
Yeah.
See, I don't agree that guys should do that. Guys shouldn't be drinking. Guys shouldn't be doing drugs. Guys should be fit. The only thing I say is if they want to fuck other girls, hey, I'm giving y'all the perfect man. I'm creating the. Listen, if y'all get with any guys that I'm coaching, you're gonna be taken care of. He just might fuck other girls on the side every now and then, but you're gonna have everything else you want.
No.
You gonna throw all that away for, man, that's crazy. I wouldn't tell my daughter that. If I had a daughter, what I would tell my daughter is this, exactly what I'm telling y'all. Tell him what it's gonna be, tell him what you're not gonna accept, bring him peace, add value to his life, and just know that if he's this caliber of guy, he's going to want to fuck other girls. Just make it very, very clear what you will and will not accept. I would tell my daughter the exact same thing, because I know at long term, I don't want her to go be with a guy who tells her what she wants to hear, and then is doing this shit regardless. Because that's the risk you take.
I think there's a lot to be said with a man that has integrity and puts his family first. And I think that's what probably, Maria, I don't want to put words into your mouth, is I'm assuming that she's also speaking on. And I think that's what's important. It's like for your children, I don't want an example like that. I don't want a man that just, I get the urge. I get that men are dogs and they can get it wherever they want it. I want a man that could say, you know what, my family comes first, my children comes first, my children's children comes first, and I don't want to disrespect them. I've had my fun. I've done my thing. This is a new season in my life, and it's not about that anymore. It's about providing for my family and creating a healthy family dynamic.
Okay, what if he's doing all of those things and just fucks a few girls on the side a year?
It's over.
What? That is insane. Y'all are insane.
What is the point of that? What does
We don't have to agree. That's your point of view.
What is the game?
It's not about a game. I'm saying, yes, get the guy that's gonna do everything you just mentioned. But if he's this guy that can do all of these things, he's still gonna want to fuck other girls. I'm saying don't throw away everything that he's gonna provide. I'm not saying he can't do this. I'm not saying accept him. Listen, ladies. I'm not saying accept the bum. I'm saying only deal with a guy who's going to provide. That's my. I will stand on that. He has to do everything. He has to provide for everything. I'm just saying don't throw all of that away because he fucks some random girl and then never hears from her again. I don't think you should risk that.
But you said if there's a transparency and you set those boundaries in the beginning,
right,
then he shouldn't be even doing it. He's stepping out. So we're not even speaking. If you've agreed it to a beginning that he can kind of do whatever he wants, that's not really
okay.
an issue.
Okay. But I'm talking about a Maria who's saying no, I'm not gonna accept this guy for doing
Yeah,
this.
but you're giving the two options. You're saying you can accept it or not. You can be on front or you cannot be on front. I'm saying I'm not gonna accept it, so he might not be on front. The issue is when they do it and people find out. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue because you're not in front. But and again, you don't have to agree. But I believe that a man that is towards God's vision and family vision and is ready to jump into a relationship, I believe that there should be that there is men that are not gonna shoot him the women because they put their priority, their values, their family.
I get that.
Already, they lived already. They did all the shit already. You know.
I get it. No, I
but as a man, you gotta be ready for that too.
I totally agree with you. All I'm saying is, just for a second, remove your emotions and your religion. Just for a second. I'm not saying abandon it for life. I'm saying the better strategy for you long term, and we can always disagree on this. I think a man that is going to do, I'm talking about, listen, I'm not saying you get a regular guy that you're going to be struggling with. No, this motherfucker has to do everything. And he's going to give your kids the best possible. Somebody has me on the background. I don't know who that is. Somebody's echoing. Is that me? I don't know. Am I echoing?
No.
I'm saying pick the guy that's going to give your children the best possible outcome. So imagine you get with this guy. He's your dream guy, Maria. He's your dream guy. He's going to provide, your kids are going to get the best life, everything. He just fucks one or two girls a year and you it's not in your face, but there's just transparency about it. Or you get with a guy who can't do all of that, but he gives you the security that he's not going to fuck other girls. I'm saying get the guy that's going to give you the most, and all he does is just fuck some girls. Man. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. I understand, women. I understand. Just please, ladies, if you ever run into this kind of guy, consider what I'm saying, because this is not me. He doesn't love you. He's just a man. Please, do not throw away a possible future for security when you're not getting that much security. Because the thing is this guy that is telling you what you want to hear possibly won't give you the best possible life and is gonna fuck other girls. That is crazy. That is crazy. He possibly won't give you the best life and he's gonna fuck other girls. I'm saying if it's my daughter, listen, get the best possible guy. Accept that he will fuck other girls, but you get the best possible guy. But I understand this is the life you guys want to live. All right, so we're going to end it with this. We're going to end it with one thing you learned and any advice for men. Let's start off with Tasha.
Me. Could it be maybe the last one or anytime?
So one thing you learned from the show.
Okay,
Anything.
That there is people that truly believe in their delusion, I would say. That they way too delusional. Way too delusional. Like here in Europe, we have some delusion, but I think in America it's like extreme. Yes. What was the second thing?
Any advice you have for men?
For you?
For not me, men.
Men. Men. To work on their masculinity, because that's truly the only thing that will make them happy and the people that surround them. So that's very important. Yes.
Be responsible, fellas.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
You know, a lot of the stuff you said was interesting. I agree with some of it. I disagree with some of it. You know, one thing I learned, it's difficult to carry a conversation like this. And I do applaud you for like carrying everything and having so much to say and having very strong opinions. That's not easy. I was like, how is this going to work? It's my first time being on something like this. So I do respect what you do. And I want to say also thank you for having me on. And I would say, for men, I do agree with what she said in terms of masculinity. And I think also look out with women of picking someone. I think obviously men are going to put a lot of weight on looks, but I think beauty nowadays, I mean, most women are very beautiful with plastic surgery and the access we have. See what a woman brings to the table more than just her looks and her sex drive and how she's going to support you and her kindness and her brains. I do think intelligence is important. So yeah, don't put too much weight on looks. So, but yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Monica.
You said one thing I learned.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned just how lucky I am, I think, in my own partnership.
Why you say that?
Well, because although I do agree with I'd say like 80% of what you said, like I've also struck out in the sense of being with someone who doesn't have this like interesting, for lack of a better word, mentality of like wanting to go and seek outside of our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have given this person like that opportunity, but he thinks it's like weird and insane. Like he's like, what the fuck? Like I only want you, and like I know what I want, and I don't need to look for it elsewhere.
Awesome.
And so
That's
I'm
dope.
very grateful for that.
Okay, any advice for the guys?
Any advice? I agree with what, I'm so sorry, what's your name again?
Ellie?
My gosh.
I agree with what she said. Work on your masculinity. And also women, like, yo, work on your femininity.
Crazy, huh?
Good.
Maria.
Well, I enjoy this because I think women has to watch this type of shows for two reasons. First, trying to not accept but like listen what the brain of a man says. I think it's important because, like I said, it's so hard to keep trying to be high value woman out there. So you need to listen and understand maybe the man's point of view. And I think we need these type of things as a woman, and I think as a man too, for sure. But like I'm talking about for the women, and I think also listening. It's I just sit and I listen and I see everything, and you have no idea how many things come to my brain. Like just seeing all of those things that happen in this conversation. We really need as a woman and men to listen to each other. And you might not be agree with whatever reason why you're saying, but you have to listen, give your point of view with respect, and that's incredibly hard to find and super important. And that's why I'm like super happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me to give me this opportunity. And an advice for a man, I'll say don't watch porn, go work out, eat healthy, take care of your woman, open the door of the car every single time. Every single time.
Okay.
And don't cheat on your woman.
Okay. So I got a last question for y'all, and it's gonna be brief. All right. Like kind of my advice. If you guys believe you're high value, if you believe you can add to a man's life, one thing that I see a lot of women struggle with is trying to wait for the guy. I think, Maria, this might be what you're struggling with.
Trying to what?
You're waiting too much. I think
What do you mean waiting? In what sense?
so. You're saying what you said at the end was it's hard to be a high value woman when you see these men want this certain thing. And I'm saying for the guy you want, I think more women should be more like go after the men you want. I don't think women do it enough. I'm telling you, I don't think women do it enough.
You need the woman first. I have a relationship. I think it.
Okay.
I'm in a 2 years relationship.
Okay.
I'm just talking in general, like in general, like it's hard because I see it every day. But my question is, are you trying to say like woman needs to go out and catch the man? Like
no, not always. But I think
chase.
do you guys know that relationships where a woman pursues the man, more of them end up in marriage? I don't think women pursue men enough. If you've done the work to find the guy that you want, I don't think you should wait too long. Because this is the thing. The guy that you want, other girls are gonna want him. And understanding how women are, some of y'all, right? I don't want to show my intentions. I'm not saying you just throw yourself on a guy, but I think a lot of men would appreciate it. And you could possibly get the right kind of guy that you want if you kind of just went after it. If you were not so shy about pursuing a guy. I think a lot of women they misinterpret pursuing for chasing. You think if I tell him hi or I compliment him, I'm chasing him. I think a lot of men will appreciate it if you show that you were interested. Like all this sitting back and waiting shit, I don't think it's in a woman's best interest. So if you're single, I know you're not, and Monica, I don't know who else is single. I don't know if Tasha and Tiffany are single. Are y'all single?
I don't speak about my personal life on the internet.
Okay.
I will pass on that too. So.
Okay.
But
Everybody's got a dude. Okay. For the girls who don't have whenever a girl says that, there's a dude in the picture. For the girls who don't have a dude, make your intentions clear. All right. And that's all I have.
Well, can I ask a follow-up? Is that okay? Or are we short on time?
Yeah.
If we'll try it. Would it, and I never said I have a dude, I just said I don't speak about my personal life. That doesn't mean I'm in a relationship. But what is the difference? Because I see that I get what you're saying very much with chasing and pursuing. What do you think the difference is? I'd love to hear. How do you split that?
I think a lot of women are terrified of rejection. And this is something that I've noticed, especially with really, really feminine girls. Really, really feminine girls, it's even harder for you to like make your intentions clear because you're so afraid of the rejection. Like I'm telling you guys, men would appreciate it. You can get a guy you want. If let's say you hang out with a guy, stop following these stupid ass rules. Oh, he has to text me or this, and this, because I don't teach guys that. I don't think that a man should look at a woman the wrong way if she's making her intentions clear. I actually reward women like that. This is how I pick the girl I'm with. I'm going to pick the girl that I has shown me the most intentions. And I think a lot of women can be even really, really feminine and don't do that. Oh, the man is supposed to do everything. The issue is a lot of men are being taught that we need to see interest from the women. So you don't show a man your interest, all right? And then you just kind of expect him to do everything. Just tell him, hey, hi. Don't be so afraid of rejection. Like if you want a guy and you believe you could add to his life, show him. All right. I feel like a lot of girls make this crucial mistake.
I agree with you. Like sliding into the DMs first is kind of what you're saying, starting the conversation. I think what happens and it gets dicey is that women start chasing men that don't want to be with them. Right. So it's like drawing that.
That's the thing. The problem is the women are just not used to rejection and you don't practice it. So God forbid you DM a guy and he doesn't respond. The world is coming to an end. You're never going to DM a guy again. This is just how women are. Did y'all take this shit to so many different extremes. If you DM this guy, he don't respond, good luck. She's not gonna DM a guy again for a year. So that's the problem.
So true.
One guy you didn't want you. That doesn't mean another guy won't. Men have to deal with this every day. Guys send DMs, women don't open them. Guys pursue women, women don't reciprocate. But women, that's the selfishness, right? Oh, I want you, you don't want me. Screw all guys. Nah, if you want a certain caliber of guy, make it known. All right, guys. That's it for today. You ladies stay here for a second. But that's it for the show, guys. See y'all next week. Peace.